Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an Undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Very good morning to you. It is almost 4 minutes past 6 o'clock. Another Monday morning, October the 27th. We'll soon be counting those days to Christmas, won't we? This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Ron Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling, and delighted to say Ally McCoist is in the studio this morning. Coist, you've been a while.
It has been a while.
You've been away.
I had 6 nights in Dubai, Jeff.
Wow.
Which seems like an eternity ago. Loved it. Weather was good. Didn't go out to the hotel. Just sat about. No, it was magic.
Did you not get withdrawals from commentaries?
No.
No withdrawals?
Not in the slightest.
Yeah. You watch any football out there? Or?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh, sorry. Stupid.
No, we go to this, there's a lovely wee sports bar on the complex. We saw everything. Everything. Never missed it.
What did Viv think of that?
Oh, she's delighted, man. She got a bit of peace and quiet. So the kids and I went round, watched the football, played paddle, played golf. They had me playing that paddle, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me. I'm moving like, I don't know what I'm moving like. I tell you, I do actually, an old man. That's what I'm moving like.
I was hoping you were going to say you're ready to take on Jordan now.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think I'll even have my work cut out for a Bournemouth, the way things were moving. But there's a challenge there somewhere, because the boys still play it a lot, don't they? Benty and Gabby play it. But I think, I'd whisper it, but I think Simon's quite good.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Well, he
Not that Simon.
he
not
tells
that-
us he is.
Well, I was going to say not that Simon would whisper it. So had a great break, mate. What about yourself? How are you? Good form?
Yeah, good form. I mean, really, really good form. I'm still in shock a bit about the weekend. You know, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank going out of Strictly. Robbed. I mean, ridiculous. I didn't see the Sunday night version of it. I was on my way up into London. My wife texted me and said, Jimmy's gone out. I couldn't believe it.
Terrible.
You know, because he was a class act. But no, I've been absolutely fantastic. I mean, you know, you look at weekends, and this weekend, I'll tell you what I did. Friday night, I watched Leeds against West Ham.
Yes.
Saturday, Portsmouth Stoke, midday. Now, I wasn't going to a game because Hartlepool were at home and I'm not altogether welcome there. So, you know, I watched the results on Saturday afternoon. Then Man United Brighton at 5:30. I flicked over a little bit for England's women against Brazil at times. Then 8 o'clock, Brentford against Liverpool, listening to you. Sunday lunchtime, Hearts against Celtic from 12. Then a choice of 4 games at 2 o'clock. I started with Villa against City. I'm flicking back and forwards amongst the others. 4:30, Everton against Spurs. And between times, of course, there was Match of the Day, the EFL highlights. And I'm just thinking, my head is going to explode. It is so full of football.
Well, you know something? I don't think I can raise you, but I think I can call you. I had the exact same myself, but that Friday night. And then Saturday, I actually went to Chelsea, Sunderland. Before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I thought it's out that way. So I managed to, my good friend, or our good friend, Cundy, managed to get me a ticket from one of his friends. So I went along. Whoa, was I impressed with Sunderland, by
Yeah.
Was I impressed with Sunderland?
Oh, well, look, what a season.
Yeah.
We'll talk a lot more.
Yeah.
David has nailed it. He's texted and said, morning, Jeff, morning, Ali. What a weekend. 3 big wins for 3 big teams, Sunderland, Rangers, and Hartlepool.
Exactly.
Our Geordie friends can't say we haven't played anyone. No, they can't, because that Solihull Moors, they are a decent.
So that's what I did, and then it was quite amusing actually. I must have left 2 minutes before the game finishes, whatever it was, and I jumped on my transport out to Brentford. Jumped on the bike, so I get to Brentford and I get in to see the guys. Where you been? I'm at Chelsea. How did it go? I said, I enjoyed it. I said, I think Sunderland were well worth a draw. So they've looked at me and said, that's why you got all these punditry awards, by the way. Just bit of news for you. It finished 2-1. I went, well, obviously I missed a goal. And then I watched Brentford. What a game that was. What a great game of football. They were right in Liverpool's faces, Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean, long throws. They were really tight, really aggressive, 2 contrasting styles, and deserved the victory. Thoroughly deserved the victory.
You know what Liverpool are missing? They're missing Jordan Henderson. There we go. I am now leader of the Jordan Henderson fan club.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, he was brilliant. He just controls everything.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, Brentford had like 11 star players out there.
Yeah.
Coyote was
It
absolutely
was ridiculous, wasn't it? Do you know what I nearly said about him, Jeff? And I wanted to say it, but I wasn't sure they came out right. He reminded me of one of these galloping runaway horses that are running down the middle of the street. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it reminded me. But I meant it as a compliment. And I thought to myself, how am I going to explain this and make it sound like a compliment? Yeah. But he just had a freedom. And it just looked as if he's loving the game, running about. Oh, he was brilliant to watch. Brilliant to watch. By the way, what about Salah's goal?
Oh, amazing.
For somebody that was struggling as much in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
For somebody that was struggling as much in the game, he was probably only... Yeah, he might have been the only...
But that increases Arnie Slot's issues, doesn't it?
Yes.
Because he hadn't... he's in the middle of this awful run of form.
Correct.
I understand. Then he scores a wonder goal. What do you do with him?
Correct.
Now, do you leave him in?
Or do you stick with him?
Yeah, you know.
Well, the decision will be helped a little bit. I'm saying it'll be helped a little bit. It might be made a little bit easier if Isaac's hamstrings.
Yeah.
But you're right, mate. What a dilemma that is.
Yeah.
What a dilemma.
But look, as you'll gather, a huge weekend in the Premier League. talkSPORT, right across it.
It's the unpredictable Premier League, at least at the start of the season.
Oh my goodness, Sunderland are going to win it. It is Chelsea 1, Sunderland 2.
It's Newcastle 2, Fulham 1. Hey Melbourne, now it's Manchester United 4, Brighton and Hove Albion 2.
Eagle Chaga hits it right footed, right down the middle. No title challenge for decades, has withstood a run of 4 successive Premier League defeats.
Wolves 2, Burnley 3, would you believe it? Lyle Foster, 4 minutes into stoppage time.
Bournemouth 2, Nottingham Forest 0, Eli Junior Krupi with a fantastic finish.
Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 0, and it's Matty Cash with his second Premier League goal of the season.
Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0, and it's Eberechi Eze against his own club.
It's one of the biggest victories this season.
You can hear the boos from those that have stayed. Tottenham maintain their record as the Premier League's only unbeaten side away from home. Everton 0, Tottenham 3.
Yes, so Arsenal top the table. Spurs win at Everton yesterday puts them up to third, which means they separate those two giants of the game, Bournemouth and Sunderland, who are second and fourth.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, it's. I mean, breath of fresh air,
but it is,
isn't it?
It absolutely is. And I was so pleased and encouraged by watching Sunderland and watching what I was seeing. I mean, he's done really well with them. Everything about them, the way they work for each other. You know, they're solid defensively. You know, they come back into a five. They were great to watch because they actually play two formations, Sunderland. You know, I'd love to talk to the manager and see, you know, what his outlook is, because when they've got, as soon as they get the ball, they're a four. As soon as they lose the ball, they get it straight back into a five. Whether you're right, two wing backs or drop back, and then as soon as they get the ball, they've got a back four and they open up a wee bit and kind of go 4-3-3. Brilliant. I mean, everybody knows their job. They're so well organised, and I tell you something else, Jeff, and this won't surprise you, and I'm slightly biased. What a support! What a support! They, I mean, but you know the North East as well as I do. They never stopped singing the whole game, and I was sitting. Obviously, Jason got me a ticket in with a couple of Chelsea boys, and I couldn't take my eyes off them. They just sang and sang and sang. It was fantastic.
They've waited for this for a long time.
Of course they have.
And gone through some difficult times.
Better believe it.
So I'm glad that they're loving it. And Bournemouth, by the way, brilliant as well. Forest, they've got issues. They have definitely got issues. And talking of sides with issues, what about Wolves? The Wolves fans turning on Vitor Pereira after watching them lose at home to Burnley. Here's what Pereira made of the chants from his own fans calling for him to be sacked.
I know it's football. I have a lot of experience in my career. 2 months ago, they sing my name because in the last season, if we are in the Premier League, it's because we did a fantastic work together to keep the club in this league. But you know, this is football, and I know that if we win the next 2 or 3 games, everything change. Everything change is the frustration of the result. The reaction in the end is the frustration of the result, and I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to say, is he still going to the pub?
No, I know.
I'm not so sure.
No.
Look, I mean, I feel for him. I think, for what it's worth, I think he's had the rug pulled from beneath his feet by the ownership.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. However, it probably won't save him. I mean, that was a disaster for them at the weekend. I mean, going 2-0, it did well to come back, and then all of a sudden, the lose the goal in the last minute, whatever it was. It's only results that will save them. But I just think, I'm sure the quality of player is not the same as it was, without doubt, for me. And I just think they're in big trouble. I really do. And you know, friends along the East End of London as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're the ones, and you know, bearing in mind that at the weekend again, all 3 promoted teams won.
Yeah.
Again. You know, so tough times for Wolves and West Ham. We'll discuss them both during the course of the morning. Jake says another clean sheet for Arsenal. Surely Gabriel is in contention for Player of the Year. Yep. But as you say, Jake, it is early, 9 games in. Coming up, we'll turn our attention to the back pages, and the title being Arsenal's to lose. Now, who said that? That's next. talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist is with me, and that, of course, is Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran, who's
Great
lead singer.
song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Great band.
Well, you know, you look back at sort of bands who sort of defined certain eras, and
Yes.
they were 80s, weren't they?
Yes.
80s pop.
Girls on Film.
Yeah.
Rio, the lot. I loved them.
Wild Boys.
Wild Boys, brilliant.
Save a Prayer.
What was the first one? No, I've got it. I think I've got it. I think it was Planet Earth.
Planet Earth, it was. Yeah.
And I think Old Fletch, I think my commentator, my sidekick was there last night. I want to see Duran Duran were playing Nottingham last night. Yeah, there's a bit of information, didn't you, here in talkSPORT this morning.
And of course, Bond theme tune as well with View to a Kill.
Oh, very good.
You know? But what a band. They're one of my wife's favourite bands as well. And
great band.
She's just out of bed, so she's probably listening.
Well, I'm with her totally. 100%.
I hear little clips like that, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, the next time I go for a short break, because I never call them holidays, I always call them short breaks. The next time I go for a short break, I'm going to have a little listen to, you know, the best of Duran Duran or whatever, you know, take me back to my, I was going to say take me back to my youth, but the 80s wasn't quite my youth, but not far off it.
I've done my usual again. You hit the nerve there on me. Left my blinking headphones on the plane again.
No, you didn't.
Jeff, I swear to God. I'm not kidding you, mate. I think that's about at least the fifth time I've done that.
Yeah.
I stick them in that wee pocket thing at the front, man. And I just, and instead, the first thing I should do when I go to go off a plane, check pockets, keys, phone, and headphones.
Yeah.
Nah, I've done it. I think so. I think they're somewhere in Norway. Not even Heathrow.
Yeah. Here's a daft story for you. Coming up on the train last night, when suddenly a sort of guy, sort of early 20s, comes into the carriage and said, "Has anybody seen my shoes?" He said, "I've left my shoes in here." And he'd been sitting in this carriage, and he'd taken his shoes off and gone to another carriage, barefoot.
No.
And he's left his shoes under the seats where somebody is now sitting in there. I mean, I've never seen anybody lose their shoes on a train journey before.
I like his style.
Yeah. By the way, you mentioned Norway. Just briefly while we're away, Sweden, Mjällby, the mighty Mjällby.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Absolutely. We had the chairman on live.
I know. I saw. Brilliant. How was it?
Oh, brilliant. Champions League now.
What a story.
You know. But they can't play on their own ground. It's too small.
Yeah. So where will they move to? Where would the nearest place be?
Well, I don't know, because I think Stockholm's 6 hours away by road. Gothenburg's 4 hours away. You know, it's pretty difficult to get there. Yeah. So we shall see. But it's just a great story, you know. I mean, my money this season, okay, I've got a treble. Mjällby, Hearts and Bournemouth to win their respective leagues. I want to know from Corals what price that is.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll say to you right now. It'll be shorter than it was at the start of the season.
Absolutely. Right, it's time to take a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle baking bread? Improve your take-home dough with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
And winter has arrived, because Olivia's arrived, and the first time ever you got a coat on.
I know. I just when the clocks go back and it just is like so dark, and I'm just like, oh. To be fair, I don't need to be wearing this coat.
The clocks going back is the most stupid idea in the history of stupid ideas.
I completely agree, Jeff.
Right, come on, I need to know why. Right, why? Is it just tell me? Come on, why?
Why what?
Why is it stupid? I don't know what. I'm not saying it's not a stupid idea, but I'd like you to explain to me.
Because we want some daylight hours. We want daylight hours when most people are awake, and that's at the end of the day, not at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, when most sensible people, of course, you're still asleep.
I take your point.
It's rubbish, honestly.
Yeah. I must admit, though, I do find it slightly depressing. See, even get up in the morning, crossing that road, you know, at least when it's light.
It makes you, it's just, and now, like, getting dark at 3 p.m, it's just not for me.
No.
This is why, Jeff, we need to escape to, like, Ali, would you come?
Yes, the three of us. Let's do the show from Acapulco or something like that.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, on the back of all the back pages, as you can imagine, it's all about Arsenal and Ebere Eze. Eze does it. It took me a while to get that. Easy does it, Eze does it. I was like, oh, that's a bit of a rubbish.
Took you a while to get that.
I think it's just early in the morning, Ali. Then Gunners in Dreamland as well. But this is my favourite one. Back of the Sun. Happy ever after. Obviously, Ebere Eze scoring the only goal of the game as Arsenal beat Palace 1-0. I suppose my first question is then to both of you. Is this Arsenal's title to lose now? Because a lot of Arsenal fans are coming out and saying that.
No,
I know we're only 9 games in, but what do you reckon?
It's far too early. But I told you what I did. I can't lie. I fancied Liverpool to win the league, particularly all the signings, and that was my tip to win it. And then after Liverpool beat Arsenal, I actually stuck a few quid on Arsenal after that.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did you?
I did. Oh, I did.
Why?
Absolutely.
What about that game made you think Arsenal?
Arsenal defensively.
Yeah.
I just thought they won't lose goals. They look. I think they're the best back four at this moment in time. By a distance.
They're probably best back four in the world. Look at...
Well, probably, because you look at the attacking teams, you know, the Parises and the Real Madrids and the Barcelonas, generally, they're if they're not all out attack, they're certainly more attack-minded than defensive. I think Arsenal I think you're right, they could be the best back four in the world. I don't think that's a daft statement to make. And I think what Jeff and I were just speaking about it there, Olivia, I think that's the main reason. I look at the other teams and I just think they will lose goals, where Arsenal will not always go out and score threes and fours as we saw at the weekend. But I think generally speaking, they've got enough in their team to nick goals. Whether it's
they can't keep relying on set plays. They just can't. You know, this is the fourth game they've been involved in this season. In 9 Premier League games, it's finished 1-0.
Yep.
Didn't win them all, obviously. And there's a 1-1 in there as well. For me, they've got great players. I love some of the Arsenal players, you know. I love Saka, I love Odegaard when he's playing. You know, I love Eberechi Eze as well. But please be just a bit more expansive. I mean, watching Arsenal against Palace was watching paint dry. It's the classic. It was purgatory. I started watching that match. I'd had enough of it before Arsenal had a shot, actually, because their first shot was 33 minutes when they scored their first goal. I'd turned over by then to watch Villa against City, which was a much better game.
Well, I started with Villa, to be honest with you. For maybe that reason. It was a Villa game I started with after I watched Hearts Celtic. So, yeah, I do take your point. But I also think, Jeff, I just don't think there's enough consistency, as we're seeing in Liverpool and City, to make it
and that's the point. At the moment, the other challengers are too inconsistent. Yeah. I wondered defensively for us, and we saw Saliba go off, and Mosquera's come on, and by the way, he's been exceptional so far.
Oh, he has
exceptional. Could he be exceptional week in, week out in the title-challenging team if they pick up injuries? Because he's just a young boy, you know?
I agree with you, but I think it was the Liverpool game actually come on. When
it was, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I genuinely thought that would be a problem for them if one of their centre-backs get injured. That was the biggest thing for Arsenal. But he looks as though he's come in and he looks the part. And they've got one or two options now. Which, you know...
I think that's the squad, I think, is the biggest reason why people are saying Arsenal. But you mentioned their defence. They've conceded 2 shots on target in the last 4 games. Ali, I don't want to get worried, but should I be getting worried about Chelsea's 15 goals in a Premier League season? Should I be getting worried that Arsenal are going to break this? They've conceded 3 goals in 9 games. Should I?
Yeah.
Really? What about,
and I tell you,
maybe more worried in March? I don't want to get worried now.
I wouldn't be worrying now. If I was you, I would run about February. I'd give yourself to February. But they look the real deal.
If I was you, Olivia, I wouldn't be worried about historic records. I'd be worried about Chelsea right now.
Oh, I know.
No, Jeff. No, it's fine. Just a little blip. Well, you're probably better because I was on a weekend away. I picked a lovely weekend to go on a weekend away. Didn't watch any football. Watch match of the day. But I think it's really hard to gauge what actually happens when you watch a highlights package. But
well, you can talk about Chelsea and be concerned about Chelsea, but the one thing you've got to talk about Sunderland.
How good they are.
Oh, man, they were terrific. Yeah. I mean, absolutely terrific. Lively up front, work hard, organised. Yeah, I was.
And we will sing their praises a bit later in the morning. Thanks, Olivia. That was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Andy, the Arsenal fan, says, Jeff, I've got to tell you a story regarding losing things on trains. My mum was travelling to Belgium on a train. During a stop at a station, she walked to the catering carriage to get a coffee. Little did she know the train was separating. One going on to Belgium and the one she was in heading back the way it came. Keys, phone and passport went on to Belgium.
No.
Andy, thank you so much for that. Brilliant.
I mean, that is a disaster.
I love it. Coming up, we'll celebrate the brilliance of Hearts and whether a different winner of the SPL would be good for the league. That's next.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle baking bread? Improve your take-home dough with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big three networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Some are pretty straightforward. Arsenal are the Gunners because they were founded by a group of munitions workers, and Bournemouth are the Cherries because their old stadium was built right next to a cherry orchard. Then there's Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ipswich Town nicked their nickname off their opponents in the late 90s, Birmingham. The term Tractor Boys was chanted as a way to tease the team about their farming background, but they started using it themselves as a way to cheer on the team in victory instead. Take that, Birmingham. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Crystal Palace's nickname came from an extreme makeover. They were having a nightmare run in the 70s, and when they were relegated, their manager, Malcolm Allison, wasn't having it. I know what will make us better, he thought, a new nickname. The Strong and Deadly Eagle sounded like a pretty good bet. And there's more to that story. Brighton used Palace's nickname to inspire their own. Ooh, bird, they thought. Let's just pick a different one for us. And so, in a heated match between the two teams back in 1976, when Palace fans began chanting "Eagles, Eagles," Brighton fans had the perfect reply: "Seagulls, Seagulls." So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
very good morning to 7:35 Monday morning, October the 27th. Ian C is not alone in Arsenal fans. Jeff complaining about Arsenal not opening teams up. You need to take into account the teams they're facing. Not one team is opening up against us. Teams play for a draw against us. Best, I take your point, Ian. Recently, maybe that's the case, but let's look back, shall we? Old Trafford opening day of the season, Manchester United had 7 shots on target. Arsenal had 3. Anfield, Liverpool had 3 shots on target. Arsenal had 1. Who didn't open up that day, by the way? Manchester City at home, both sides had 3 shots on target. Yeah, some of the other clubs, yeah, I can accept that. I don't buy the fact that teams are playing for a draw against us at best. Fulham lost at home. They didn't have a shot on target. I don't think they were playing for a draw, though. I think that's, I just don't think that's right. Look, you might disagree, but they may well win the league playing for clean sheets, and they may very well. I'm just saying it's not the greatest stuff to watch. As a neutral, it ain't. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist, and our good friends at Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car or home charger.
What time is it for clarification? I'm just wondering.
Well, on my right hand side, it's 6:36, but on my left hand side, it's 7:36.
Oh, we just go somewhere in the middle now.
And by the way, on my right hand side, it's 6:36 and 46 seconds. On my left hand side, it's 6:37 now. So. Synchronicity.
They're playing with our minds in here, Jeff. They're playing with our minds.
Now, if you dreamt this might be the season that the Scottish Premiership left the grasp of Glasgow, you might be bang on, because Hearts are now 8 points clear of Celtic. It's got everyone talking north of the border. They've been absolutely brilliant. And by the way, of course, next weekend, Celtic and Rangers meet in the League Cup final. Hearts of a league, they could go 11. 11 points clear at the top of football. Ali, let's start on a sort of general view here. Would Hearts, and I know you're a Rangers man, would Hearts winning the title be good for Scottish football?
Yeah. I mean, clearly, I'm a Rangers man. I want Rangers to win the title. That goes without saying, right? Goes without saying. However, I think you make a valid point. I would suggest to you, right off the top of my head, when was the last time? Have you got it in front of you? Was it 85? Aberdeen? Was it 85?
Yeah.
The United won in 83, I think so, yeah. McLean 83, 84. So
I think Hearts haven't won it since 1960.
No, that's right. And they should have won it in 86, but they won't thank me for reminding them, but they crumbled up at Dundee last game of the season. I'll never forget it. Never forget it. I think all they needed was a point up at Dundee in 86, and they get beat 2-0. And it's amazing. There's a few things I knew we were going to talk about this. There's a few things. There's a great discussion with a few of my mates last night, ex-players and ex-teammates. Yes, it's brilliantly refreshing, and certainly for the neutral, of which I'm not, it'd have to be a good thing for Scottish football, right? But you need to balance it out, right? Would it be a good thing for Scottish football? Yes. What's it going to take to happen? They're going to have to continue on the remarkable run that they're on. They'll probably have to strengthen in the January window, and most importantly, they're going to have to enjoy the continued demise of Rangers and Celtic, which isn't good for Scottish football. So it's a little bit of a contradiction. The best thing can happen if you're neutral for Scottish football is for Hearts to win a brilliant league with Rangers and Celtic finishing second and third and nothing between them all the way. That's the best thing that can happen to Scottish football. The only chance, the best chance Hearts have got is as I said there, Jeff, their continued form and the continued poor results and performances from Rangers and Celtic, who are. And I thought about it. I'm trying to balance it, because you have to bring in to the conversation just how poor Rangers and Celtic are. But at the same time, you need to balance it with how refreshing it is to see Derek and his team where they are doing what they're doing, because they deserved that yesterday, mate. I sat and watched that game, and they were excellent from start to finish.
I mean, they've got 25 points. Celtic and Rangers combined have only got 26.
Yes.
The question is, can they maintain it? Because the pressure switches, doesn't it, as expectation rises. And now people like us are talking about them winning the title.
Yeah. And Derek will win that dressing room saying, right, calm down, everybody calm down. And so he should and so he will. Because at this stage, you can't get carried away. No chance you get carried away. Because history would tell you that it ain't going to happen, right? Aberdeen last year, I think won their first 12, certainly unbeaten. They won 11 out of 12 and drew one. And then finished something like 30 points behind. But to balance that, I think Hearts have got more about them than Aberdeen did. Plus the fact, again, Rangers and Celtic, particularly Celtic, are poorer than they were last season when Hearts, started well. I mean, you can argue Rangers have been poor for a number of, certainly, maybe 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be. So I do smell something different this year. I do. I smell something different. They've got a man in charge now, or two men in charge, who know their way about. I mean, Tony Bloom certainly knows his way about, that's for sure. And there's nobody better in Scottish football than Derek that knows Scottish football. So, should they be supporters should be carried away and think, because that's what supporters like to do. They're allowed to get carried away, they're allowed to dream. And the boys at Gorgie Road will be going crazy because that was a performance yesterday as well that did nothing other than say, I think we might be here to stay.
I tell you, everything Tony Bloom touches turns to gold, doesn't he? He was there at Tynecastle yesterday with that scarf on, celebrating like he was a lifelong Hearts fan. And absolutely good for him. Hearts, let's be honest, they will never have a better opportunity.
Do you know what they've got? They've got a great spine. Two centre-backs, right? I had Big Halkett at Rangers, right? And as a young kid, Jeff, I loved him, man. He's one of these. He must have come off the pitch and he had 285 headers as a centre half. One of those boys, headers, clears everything, solid, proper. With great respect, he'll do it. But I wouldn't say it's his forte taking off the goalkeeper and spraying it about. Defend. He defends. Derek's went out and got a boy Finlay for Kilmarnock, right? Solid centre back. So his centre back pairing are as solid, I think, and as good as anything in the league. Up front, they've got a Shanklin, right? Lon Shanklin, who incidentally, I'll throw it in just to upset everybody. If Rangers had signed him, I think a year and a half ago, they'd have won the league. That's my opinion. They didn't. And fair play to him, he's staying at Hearts and he's got a chance of winning the league with Hearts. And they've got a lad, Claudio Braga. They produced him from nowhere, this fella. And incidentally, it's a really quite an amusing wee story. Alexander, my oldest boy, met this lad and bought it in Portugal on holiday, and he met this lad and talked away, blah, 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 and then he came back and said, that's his pals just moved to Hearts. And sure enough, it was Claudio Braga. And Alexander's keeping in touch in a way, anyway, that's just a wee side story. But he looks the part. So their spine is absolutely... Harry Milner, I didn't know an awful lot about, looks as though he's got something. They've all got something different. So,
but whatever their qualities, the reason they've got a great chance is the fragility of the other two.
Correct. That's my point. That's exactly my point. But I really don't want to emphasise that.
Because you have to. Yeah. Because they always dominate. And I was sitting thinking, I was looking at the teams and I watched some of the game on Sunday. Is there anybody in the Rangers or the Celtic squad? I mean, I look back at the great players of Scotland over the years. Is there anybody in the current Rangers or Celtic squads who could cut the mustard in the Premier League?
No. Maybe Callum McGregor. Callum could play, but then the problem that Celtic got and Brendan have got now is they're looking at the Celtic team. They're back four there: O'Donovan, Murray, Scales, Tierney. With the greatest respect, it's not scaring you. Midfield Engels, Hatati's a good player, and Callum's there, right? But what teams are doing now, and Rangers, it took Rangers long enough, by the way, I need to tell you, but when they're playing, just stick somebody on Callum, because Callum makes them tick. Callum's a very good football player, particularly if you sit back and let him play. But he's an even better player with better players around him. And I don't think he's got that at this moment in time at Celtic. So that's one of the problems that Celtic have got. And the demise in the Old Firm squads is absolutely alarming. I mean, it's dropped off a cliff, mate. It's not fell away. It's completely dropped off a cliff. And I'm saying this, and I wanted to be talking about Hearts and how good, and Hearts have been great. And as I've mentioned, the two centre backs, the spine of their team, and I don't really see them going away. they had a brilliant result down at Kilmarnock, which is generally a tough place to go to. Last week they got down there and won 3-0. Derek's come back to the old club. The whole thing was, you know, it was a precarious situation. You thought, I'm going to drop points here. No, they're going to win comfortably. So it looks to me at this early stage as though they might be there for the duration. But the demise and the quality of Rangers and Celtic is both alarming and staggering.
We could go on. I mean, let's just touch on that then. Who's to blame for that? Because Brendan Rodgers must be under a bit of pressure at Celtic now. We've seen what's happened at Rangers, but this is down to the respective boards, isn't it? Respective ownerships.
Oh yeah, of course it is. It's an interesting one, Jeff. I mean, Rangers have, you know, you go back to probably the sacking of a man that took you to a Europa final. You know, how they got rid of Van Bronckhorst still to this minute baffles me. Right, he takes you to a European final. You're a penalty kick away from winning a European final, by the way, and he gets sacked months later. So I go back to that point, and I think it's bizarre. But I just keep going back to the recruitment, you know. And I'm looking at the Rangers side, and they were much better yesterday. Because I had that on my iPad as well. They were much better yesterday, but miles off it, mate. And the problem, I keep saying, the problem particularly with Rangers and Celtic, who generally speaking have been miles better than the Rangers recruitment in the past, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it may be. Rangers in particular, and perhaps Celtic a little bit this season, have signed not only bang average players, bang average foreign players. So, I mean, there's a kid at Rangers who hasn't been getting his chance, and they've been playing Mikey Moore. And I'm not complaining about Mikey Moore. I'm really not, because Mikey Moore will go on and be a good player. I genuinely think he'll want and have a great career. But at this moment in time, there's a lad called Finlay Curtis who probably there's nothing between the two of them. So I'm thinking to myself, why do you bring somebody up from London to play in a position that one of your 18-year-old players could play himself? And I think the two of them will be great players and going to have a great career. But it's just little things like that, Jeff, I find bizarre. And then you're bringing boys in that aren't of the quality. And it's an easy thing to look back and say, oh, back in their day this, back in their day that. I mean, but you look at the quality of the foreigner coming to the country was just miles better. Now, if you're not going to get that, surely you've got to give your youth a chance.
Stifling young players.
Yeah.
Very briefly, Ali, will Hearts win the league? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh, what have I done?
Hearts.
I've got to get back up the road.
Hearts, listen here, you Rangers fans and Celtic supporters. Hearts on their way to the title, according to Alistair McCoist.
Oh, what have I done, Jeff?
Now, Stephen's just put me right. You are right, Stephen. I apologise. It's only the League Cup semi-final. I wish it was the final. I said that Rangers are playing Celtic in the final of the League Cup. It's the semi-final.
The other one's who are Motherwell playing? That's a good question.
St Mirren, is it? Okay. Yeah. Simon says, don't worry about all that. The mighty Lions are on their march. They really are, Millwall. 4 wins on the bounce, top three. And Alan says, Jeff, we Arsenal fans couldn't care less. That's not quite the phrase he uses. If we win 1-0 for the rest of the season and bore the pants off everyone, including you. Alan, you are so right in taking that view. Just don't expect all of us to say it's exhilarating to watch, because it ain't. Right, still to come on breakfast. We'll celebrate the Truro fans after they made their 900-mile-plus trip to Gateshead this weekend.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist, who's with me. Brief text from Alexander about what we've just been talking about, Scottish football. He said, I second Ali's point. I would love to see homegrown talent instead of growing talent from other countries, especially when those players are on loan.
Yeah.
Does Scotland have any mechanism for growing talent? Very good point, Alex. Thank you for that.
Excellent.
Now, our biggest competition yet. We're giving you the chance to win up to £100,000. It's talkSPORT's biggest cash prize ever. £100,000 completely tax-free. If you're the lucky winner, the excitement doesn't stop there. You'll be coming to talkSPORT Towers on Thursday, the 13th of November, to play for that life-changing cash prize. Here's how to enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Miles, a pittance. Try 900 miles. Actually, try 914 miles. Over the weekend, fans of National League Truro City embarked on a mammoth journey from Cornwall up to Gateshead to see their side, blow a 2-0 lead in truth against Gateshead. But it finished 2-2, which was still a pretty good result for them. They'd have taken that beforehand. I'm delighted to say that John, who's one of those die-hard Truro fans who made the trek up there, about 185 of them, I think, in total, joins us now. Morning, John.
Good morning, John.
Morning, mate. How are you?
Very How are you after your travels?
I'm not going to lie to you, Ali. I've felt better.
Yeah, but you did it the luxurious way, you know, while some people were driving or on a coach or a train. You know, you're flashing the cash on a flight, John. Tell us about your journey and the various different legs.
Well, yeah, Jeff, it was all, the most emotional part of it was getting Cornwall to Bristol Airport, to be honest. There was cancellations here, there and everywhere. And then the shuttle bus to the airport shuttle to Bristol Airport, where a few sociables were consumed, as you can imagine, Jeff. £108 for the flight, which, you know, was quite reasonable. And then we had the metro into across the water to Gateshead. And then we were in our digs about 21:30, and then one or two more sociables consumed, you know.
So, sociables aside, John, tell me about the game itself. Am I right in saying 2-0 about half-time, everything in the gardens rosy, and then bang, bang?
Yeah, it couldn't be worse, Ali. When we had that mammoth journey to Carlisle, we were 2-0 down after 12 minutes, and you're looking at yourself thinking, so at least we had a bit of light at the tunnel. 2-0 up, 2 disallowed as well. And then you're thinking to yourself, well, you know what I mean, it's on here, we're going to win, because Gateshead can't defend an argument. And then they kind of, in the second half, they woke up a bit, but made it 2-2, but we missed a one-on-one, Ali. He's give the keeper the eyes, he's clean through, injury time.
Oh, no, an injury time, John, was it?
Oh, we're going, and everybody's off the seat, everybody's waiting for the limbs, and he's hit it over, Ali. I couldn't believe it.
But you lads are living the dream, aren't you? You know, for Truro to be in the National League and having games like this.
Oh, it's tremendous, Jeff, and it's absolutely brilliant. We've got, your Carlisle, Rochdales, etc. You know, ex-league clubs and League One clubs.
You missed one out there. You missed one out, John.
Well, Hartlepool, of course, Jeff. We'll be up there at the end of November, but we played 8 of the top 9 now, you know. So we've not had things easy, but yeah. I came back Saturday night, and thanks to my own really bad planning, because I thought we were Saturday lunchtime kickoff, I ended up at Villa Park yesterday. So I've covered 1,300 miles this week.
So you went to the Villa City game?
I did, yeah.
Are you married? Are you married, John?
Yes.
Are you still married, John?
John, I've got to say, don't you listen to him, mate. I love it. I think that is fantastic. Bottom line is, are you going to be all right? Because I'm looking at it. I'm loving all your travelling. I'm loving you going to all the games. But, mate, according to my table in front of me, you're sitting 22nd out of 24. Will you be okay?
That's a great... We've perked up, Ali. Let's just put it that way. We've actually... do you know what? We're getting to grips with the league now, and the Cornish hospitality, weather-wise, has ended now, and teams are not going to like coming down to us. So I think we will be, mate. Yeah.
Hold on a minute, John. No like coming down. It's not the Arctic Circle. It's no Inverness you're talking about now. Wait a minute.
Yeah, and I tell you what, for instance, I know that all the Hartlepool fans, they're looking forward to a weekend down in Cornwall, whatever time of the year it is.
Hartlepool fans are coming down there for a heat, John.
They are, yeah. A lot stay in Falmouth or Newquay, Jeff, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Halifax, we beat Halifax, a decent side. They stayed in Plymouth, and I was thinking to myself, well, I'm a coach. What is he doing? It's still an hour and 3/4 on a coach.
Yeah.
What is he doing? Staying in, I thought that was bizarre.
Hey, John, brilliant. A proper fan.
Fantastic.
Really well done, mate. And when you get to Hartlepool, pop into the corner flag. It's the pub on the side of the ground. Honestly, I promise you'll get a nice welcome there.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, Jeff. Another big club who, with a bit like Carlisle and Rochdale, shouldn't really be where they are.
Yeah, good lad. Good lad, John.
Sorry, John, great to talk. Well done, mate.
Bye-bye.
And it's like near enough 920 miles round trip. So
Magic, isn't it?
The league sponsors... they put 920 quid.
Saw it behind the bar.
Behind the bar.
I saw that.
For Truro fans,
Brilliant.
which was a lovely.
I saw it. It was a great touch. What about, I mean, obviously flew up to Newcastle there from Bristol. Great idea if you can do it and if you can afford it. Smashing, good on them. Would they do it? Carlisle, Hartlepool? Is that the kind of same thing, or is that a train or a bus or a...
Well, for Carlisle,
Straight up
I
M6.
don't think you can fly up to Carlisle, can you? You know, it's what's the nearest airport?
Well, I know there's one at Carlisle, believe it or not, but it's...
Yeah, you won't get any flights.
No.
In or out of there. And for Hartlepool, yeah, you could fly...
Quayside?
Not many flights. Newcastle is probably the closest, but, you know. Your best bet, frankly, is to Stelling Travels. Your best bet is to get the train into London, and then you get the coast route up to the east coast route up to Hartlepool. So, but look, that's still
it's great though, isn't it?
It's brilliant for them.
I love the fact he stopped at Villa Park. I mean, what a weekend of football that is.
I know.
It said Truro and then Aston Villa, Manchester City. That's a proper fan, that, by the way.
A proper fan. And John's wife, she must be the most tolerant wife in the world. After wee Viv, of course. Coming up, 03717 223344 is the number to call. Are we desperate to see more entertainment from Arsenal? I reckon they're just not... They're effective, but not exciting. Do you agree? We'll discuss that next.
everyone knows there are 20 managers in the Premier League, yeah? Well, actually, no. Around 3/4 of them are not managers. The terms manager and head coach are often used interchangeably to describe Premier League bosses, but they're actually two different jobs. So let's explain how and why. For years, fans referred to Mikel Arteta as Arsenal's manager, but I'm afraid technically...
I don't think so, no.
From his first day on the job, he was the Gunners' head coach. Let's pick a random moment in time, February 2025. Only 6 Premier League bosses actually held the official title of manager rather than head coach. Man City's Pep Guardiola, David Moyes of Everton, Ipswich boss Kieran McKenna, Southampton's Ivan Juric, Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace and Leicester's Ruud van Nistelrooy were the only actual managers of their respective teams. Everyone else? That's right, head coach, including Ruben Amorim at Man United. He took over from Erik ten Hag, a man who had held the title of manager. Might come as a surprise that Amorim's appointment marked the first time ever that Man United had a head coach instead of a manager. But to understand why they made that decision, you also have to get what the difference is between a head coach and a manager. A manager's got a huge range of responsibilities. They're not just in charge of training and player lineups, they're also heavily involved in player sales and transfers. Critical stuff. But a head coach's role is far more focused on team training and performance on the pitch. So whereas Ten Hag was highly involved with decisions around transfers during his tenure, the intention was that Amorim wouldn't be, at least not on the same level. And as the sporting structure at Man United changed under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, people like Sir Dave Brailsford took charge of transfers instead. How all those roles play out in practice may be slightly different at different clubs though. On the other hand, the contracts of actual managers like Pep or Moyes had no limits on their job role and their involvement with transfers and contracts. But those guys are actually in the minority now, and it's a change that's happened pretty quickly. In 2019, there were only 6 head coaches in the Premier League, but by 2025 there were 14. A clear indication that more and more clubs are moving towards a model where the guy in charge is actually only really in charge on the pitch. And the way things are going, it might not be long before all 20 clubs have got head coaches, and the job position of football manager in the top flight is no more.
Oh dear. Oh, what have I done?
recovered?
Oh, what have I done? I've got to answer this one as well. It's a fair question. For Simon, the Hearts fan. He says, ask Ali why he never played the youth players when Rangers were playing in the 4th tier of Scottish football. Well, that's a fair enough question, Simon, but I'll just read out the team when we played Peterhead. Chris Hegarty, Lewis McLeod, Robbie Crawford, Fraser Aird, Kyle Houghton, Barry Mackay, Andy Little, Cal Naismith, Scott Gallagher was sub, Camille Vitkotsky was sub. I think their ages, I don't think any of them were above 19. So
Yeah. It's a real difficult problem for Scottish football, and one that's not going to be solved overnight.
No, that's for sure. That's a concern. It's a kind of, as you mentioned earlier, it's a kind of catch-22. And one of the guys was on there complaining that all we are talking about the demise of Rangers and Celtic. That is one of the reasons Hearts where they are.
Yeah,
we can't hide that. As good as it is, and it's great to see Hearts where they are. It's fantastic, and long may it continue. But one of the reasons is Rangers and Celtic are poor.
As you'll gather, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist. 9 o'clock, get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Now, listen up, you Arsenal fans. What a weekend for Arsenal. Another win, another clean sheet, and now 4 points clear at the top of the table. Go on!
You've changed your tune.
Liverpool hit the capital, looking to revitalise their title challenge.
Not only disappointing result, for large parts also a disappointing performance.
Eagle Chaga, he hits it right-footed, right down the middle. No title challenge for decades, has withstood a run of 4 successive Premier League defeats.
Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 0, and it's Matty Cash with his second Premier League goal of the season. I don't know what it is about this place, but City don't like it, and a lovely unbeaten run from Man City comes shuddering to a halt at Villa Park. Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, I would prefer to be there, but unfortunately we could not do it there. But now it's the next one, so not even November, right? So many games and many things going to happen.
It's finished. Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0. Chance of we are top of the league at a defiant Emirates Stadium.
They're going to be top of the league tonight by 4 points at least.
For me, it's one of the biggest victories this season. It's going to be a really long season. We are in a good moment, but we have to improve a lot of things to give us more margins as well.
That was a brilliant weekend for Arsenal. Not only have they picked up 3 points, of course, but Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, all beaten at the weekend as well. It just couldn't have been any better. Paul has texted, he said, morning chaps, love the show. He said, I'd take 1-0 to the Arsenal at the end of the season. Boring, who cares? And to be fair, we do play some nice stuff. That said, tell me a title-winning side that don't have a great defence. And I completely concur with you, Paul. I'm just saying from a neutral perspective, then it ain't great to watch. But, you know, if you're an Arsenal fan, or if you're Mikel Arteta, you don't care one jot. Arteta spoke after that 1-0 win over Palace about the magnitude of the result.
Very big result. I just mentioned to the boys, for me it's one of the biggest victories this season. I knew about the difficulty of it. We come from a lot of games every 3 days. And a Palace team that, in my opinion, has been one of the best this season in the league. So difficult to generate chances against them. The level of organisation and how interpret and cancel spaces and shift and defend with a lot of intensities is remarkable. So big credit to Oliver for doing that. And then the threat. Every time you lose the ball, they are on you and they attack from the opposite side with a lot of threat. They have a focal point on Mateta. You want to press them, they go long, and then the second ball is just a lottery. So I know that we have beaten a team that is very difficult to beat, and especially to gain a clean sheet, because we are the first team that is on that this Premier League. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, and he's right to be very happy. And Palace are very difficult to beat, and it was, by the way, he didn't have his greatest
brilliant goal,
but it was a brilliant goal.
It's a heck of a difficult one for him to take, because if he lets it drop, people will go in and challenge him. So he's got to, not a lot of people can do the quality to finish that he had, because he gets up and hits it, you know, very unorthodox. A great finish, great goal.
I mean, they've got a great opportunity now as well to build on it, because the next league game's Burnley away.
So
you know, and then they've got Sunderland, which might not be as straightforward as it would have appeared at the start of the season. You got to, as in Scotland, that you got to pick holes in the challengers as well. Manchester City had been sort of stealthily making progress, and that came grinding to a halt against Aston Villa. And I watched most of that game. I didn't think there was any fluke in it.
No, not. I agree with you. I watched it myself.
It's interesting. The only 2 times this season that Erling Haaland hasn't scored are the only 2 league games that City have lost.
Yeah.
So stop Haaland. It's almost like stop Haaland, you stop City.
Well, I don't think, you know, how long's that been the case though, really? He has been absolutely, I think, awesome. Arguably the best he's been. I've seen him this season. All sorts of goals. He's unlucky on the offside, I suppose, against the Villa. But listen, it's a kind of obvious thing to say, and it ain't rocket science, but if you do stop him scoring, you've got a serious chance of winning the game. Because you're right, it wasn't a fluke, and that was a good goal as well. Matty Cash, that was an excellent finish when he comes in.
It was.
Hits it back across. So, well, you talk about inconsistency. There's probably been no one been as inconsistent as Villa since the start of the season. But it's a big win for them. They'll obviously want to, you know, start getting a consistent run together. But if we're talking about Arsenal and the 1-0, no good to watch, all that kind of stuff, the fact of the matter is there is nobody at this particular time showing any degree of consistency to make it really worrying for Arsenal at this moment in time.
By the way, just on Villa, just very briefly, Amadou Onana, it was immense. I don't think I've ever seen him play better than he did for Villa that day against Manchester City. He was absolutely phenomenal. Just to touch, you know, we're going to talk about Liverpool a lot during the course of the day. So you heard Thomas Frank in the news bulletin there being asked whether they were title contenders. And he was very straightforward and said, no, let's take it game by game. But you have to be impressed with their form away from home, at least. If they could reproduce it at home, they might not be that far away.
No. But are you confident of them reproducing it at home? Really? I'm not so sure. Maybe a little bit like... Maybe it could be because of the inconsistency. Jeff, we don't know. I mean, at the start of the season, I'm really enjoying it. Plenty of football to go. But you look at teams like Tottenham, Chelsea again, you know, if they've got any hopes of winning a title, in which at this moment in time, outside of Arsenal, the obvious contenders were Liverpool and City, who are showing a level of inconsistency, now would be the time for them to show some consistency, and I don't think that they're capable of doing it.
Yeah. Royston's texted, he said, I hear people keep saying Arsenal ain't playing great football, but every week teams are just parking the bus. Even Man City parked the bus for the entire
they did, to be
second
fair.
half.
They did, to be fair.
They completely did. Craig says, totally agree with Jeff. Sat down with my son last night to watch the Arsenal Palace game. After 15 minutes, we switched over to watch the Villa City game. The Arsenal game was so boring. When your central defenders are having twice as many touches as your central midfielders, something is wrong. And that's from Craig, who's watching in Bangkok. And Alexander says, is football broken when the most boring team wins? What needs to be done to football to encourage teams to attack more and have less emphasis on a clean sheet? And before you text me, boys, that's Alexander saying that, okay? Not me. I agree with you, Alexander. Right.
Echoed by Mr. Stelling.
Yeah, no, if it's my team, I don't care. No. All I'm saying is it's not great entertainment if you're a neutral. And when it comes to the Premier League, I am a neutral. Right, Liverpool fans, you also want to hear from you this morning, 03717 223344. That's the number to get in touch. Tell us what on earth's happening at your club. 4 league defeats in a row, conceding goals left, right and centre. How does Arne Slot fix the mess you're in? Let us know. Coming up, we'll ask the question, how many managers are tactically better than Unai Emery? That's next. Yeah, very good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist is with me today as well. A lot of Arsenal fans getting in touch. We will bring you more of the texts in just a moment or two, but you may have missed the Mexican Grand Prix late last night. Things are heating up, to say the least, in the race for the World Championship. Here's talkSPORT's John Jackson with the very latest.
Victory in Mexico means it's now Lando Norris who leads the Formula One World Championship by 1 point ahead of his teammate Oscar Piastri with 4 races left to go. Lando started on pole position, navigated a first lap where cars were going off here, there and everywhere to win the race by over 30 seconds. It was Charles Leclerc second, Max Verstappen battled back to third, and Ollie Behrman came fourth, his best ever result for Haas and also Haas's equal best result in the sport. And Lando Norris's teammate Oscar Piastri finished down in fifth, which was a recovery drive after starting seventh. But as I say, he's 1 point behind now in the championship. 4 races left to go. It's Brazil up next, and I feel like this championship fight has a lot left to run.
It does indeed. Touch and go at the moment. 4 races remaining. Now, Olivia is back to discuss some of the fallout of Aston Villa's 1-0 win over Manchester City. You've seen some of the newspaper headlines. I thought they were really misleading, Olivia.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll get on to some of the... Maybe it's not all rosy. It's not all rosy at Villa, right? Or especially in that game. However, this is the 3rd time that Unai Emery has faced Manchester City at home since joining the club, and he's won all 3. So just first of all, let's hear from Unai Emery speaking about those 3 wins.
Yes, he's the best coach. He's the best coach in the world. And to beat him always is a challenge. Of course, when I was in Spain, it was very difficult to Barcelona, and here with Manchester it's very difficult. But the last 3 years here at home, we were performing very well in different moments as well. I think now they are better than last year and 2 years ago, but always it's very difficult to beat him. And we must play like we did and be clinical and sometimes as well be a little bit lucky. And of course the goalkeeper, and today we achieved it. I think being consistent and playing well, and the match was more equal match, but we won because we did good work.
Yeah, and it was a brilliant win for them. And look, I mean, they sat back a bit in the second half, but on the basis of what had gone, certainly in the first 45 minutes, thoroughly deserved the win.
Yeah, they did. And I'm looking at their results, you know, over the last 7 or 8 games, the only game they lost was the game against Go Ahead Eagles in the Europa League, and they're putting themselves in a really good position. But Ali, what do you think would be stopping this Villa side from, say, challenging for the Champions League, or do you think they can?
Champions League?
Yeah.
And a one-off, well, the bottom line is I don't think they're as good as they are, and you enjoy watching Villa. I don't think they are of a standard of a PSG when they're playing well.
Yeah.
Or even, but being honest, could they beat Arsenal in a one-off game? Yes, they could.
No, I'm saying finishing in the Champions League places.
Sorry, I
yeah. No.
Squad isn't as strong as it was.
Yeah.
Being honest, that's the one thing I would say. Villa are one of these teams, as they proved at the weekend, Jeff, Olivia, that they're more than capable of holding their own and beating the top teams. Of that, there is no doubt. But I'm looking at the team. Watkins needs to get fired, and he's not firing. I don't think yet.
And there's not really an alternative to Ollie Watkins.
Correct.
They bring on like Gesson and Marlon, but they're not really.
That's. I think that was.
Because they're just the one place above Chelsea now.
That's right. Well,
cheers,
worth
Jeff.
mentioning. So if you know. They need to show a greater level of consistency, which as you say, they're beginning to do now. But you look at their squad. I mean, compare the squad, for example. We speak about it with the Arsenal squad. Yeah. Arsenal got a player for every position, 2 players for every position. Villa don't have that. They've lost a good degree of talent. I'm not sure they've replaced it, but what they have got is an excellent starting 11 and a coach who, in my opinion, is certainly one of the best in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the moves that was made in the summer was Harvey Elliott to Villa, and everyone I think at the time thought maybe this was the right move for Harvey Elliott, coming off the back of a brilliant under-21 Euros, scored in the final, got player of the tournament, maybe thought, even ahead of the World Cup, play regular football. Now, it hasn't quite worked out for him. He was obviously left out of the matchday squad altogether for the City game. Unai Emery did come out after the game and said, he's happy with him, he's happy with his commitment, said he's a good guy.
Well, he's clearly not, because he's not playing
This is what I mean. So he's come out and said it was just a tactical decision. I mean, I look at the subs. Obviously, Ross Barkley and Jadon Sancho were on the bench. They had 4 defenders on the bench as well.
Well, he put Sancho on, took him off, didn't he?
Yes, we'll get on to Jadon Sancho in just a second. But he said he's not hitting the necessary levels to play week in, week out. Was this move the right move for Harvey Elliott? Well, I suppose hindsight's a wonderful thing as well.
Yeah, the one thing I would say, it's still very, very early, but he's not hit the ground running.
Not being in the squad is...
Not being in the squad is surprising.
Yeah,
I understand the need for defenders on the bench because you're playing against Manchester City. You expect you're going to have some defending to do. I just wonder if maybe for Unai Emery's system that Harvey Elliott is seen as not quite disciplined enough.
I don't. Yeah,
I look like as a player. I like him a lot.
Of course you do.
I always thought he would play more for Liverpool, but
you'd think there'd be a space on the bench for him, though.
That's definitely.
You would have thought
that's the big thing. Not being in the match day squad, but I think Jeff makes an interesting point, one that I hadn't thought about. You look at Unai Emery's side, and they're all disciplined.
I mean, I looked at the discipline of Onana. And I'm sorry to keep going on about
he was terrific.
But he was literally head and shoulders above everybody.
I think he's an excellent player. I've got to say, I saw a lot of Villa, particularly last season. I think he's an excellent player. I really do.
But his performance was so disciplined. And Harvey Elliott plays a different role. Of course, I'm well aware of that. But I don't know. It's been disappointing for him so far. But
isn't it amazing? I mean, you can go up and down the league, and there have been a lot of top signings not hit the ground running. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of them.
Yeah, he's not the only one.
You look at some of the boys at City, and some
Liverpool, obviously.
Absolutely. And they've not hit the ground running. So, I think I do take your point, but not being in the squad would be the biggest surprise for me, yeah.
And you're talking about, Liverpool signings. Maybe Liverpool could have done with Harvey Elliott staying at the club.
Well, it's funny. I mean, we'll get the Liverpool fans on later. I actually think they're missing Gravenberch as much as anybody.
Yeah, they certainly
Which
are.
is, I also think they're missing Trent. I really do. And I think Salah's missing Trent, to be brutally honest with you. So,
Ali, you mentioned Jadon Sancho obviously came on for Emi Buendia, which I don't know if Emi Buendia's injury might help Harvey Elliott, maybe.
Yeah.
But obviously Jadon Sancho was the player that came on and then he came off in the 74th minute. Unai Emery said he never intended for Sancho to play more than half an hour. My question to you is, he says he's not fit enough to play 90. Why is Jadon Sancho, who hasn't been injured at all this season, why is he not fit enough to play more?
He hasn't started a league game for them.
So it's
match fitness. And also, he played 60-odd minutes on Thursday night in Europe.
Yeah.
So to ask that of him, and I thought some of the papers were unfair to him this morning, because actually Jadon Sancho, when he was on the pitch, I thought he did pretty well.
Yeah,
he did pretty well.
So did I.
And of course he was disappointed to be taken off. He probably knew the headlines that were going to appear the next day.
I suppose he probably, maybe if he knew that Unai Emery only intended him to play half an hour, he probably knew it was coming. If he's come on that early, he probably knew that he was probably going to be taken off.
You know what? He's a soft target.
Who, Jadon Sancho?
Target.
Yeah,
because over the years it's been easy to point the finger at him.
Yeah.
But I think on this occasion it was wrong to point the finger.
He played well. He played well.
Yeah, that would be my argument. I don't think the reason that Jadon Sancho left the pitch was because of his level of performance.
Unai Emery came out, and it's hard to know, sometimes, like you say, when Unai Emery said that about Harvey Elliott, we're like, but is that the reason? But I think with Jadon Sancho, having watched the game, all three of us, we all come to the same conclusion, and it looks like Unai Emery did the same. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant win for Villa as well. The fans will have absolutely loved it. And after that sticky start of the season, they're on a bit of a roll at the moment as well. Thanks, Olivia.
Thanks, Olivia.
Coming up, we will celebrate the brilliance of Sunderland. Just how high can they finish this season? We'll discuss that next. If you want to have your say, Sunderland fans, 03717 22 3344.
when was the last time you saw someone score with a knuckleball free kick? We're going to take a look at why we're not seeing them anymore and explain a bit about how they work. The knuckleball peaked in the 2010s after that Ronaldo strike against Portsmouth in 2008 inspired academy players everywhere. Here's a young Mason Mount.
I tried to base my free kick on Ronaldo, hit the ball by the valve and it moves. So what do you do? Top corner.
Now, no ball is perfectly aerodynamic, so as it travels it creates ever-changing pockets of turbulent air, causing that unpredictable movement. Football's most prolific free-kick taker, Juninho Pernambucano, perfected the technique but didn't invent it. He was inspired by players from the 90s and even the 50s. So how do you do it? You have to hit the ball head-on with as short a contact time as possible so the ball doesn't spin. Hitting by the valve helps with that short contact time, as it's the hardest part of the football. So why don't we see knuckleballs much anymore? It's because players are being told not to shoot from dead ball situations because the XG is so low. In fact, as Opta shows here, since the 08-09 season there's been a 10% reduction in players shooting from free kicks in the Premier League. And in 23-24, a record low of 11 free kicks found the back of the net. And the knuckleball, though spectacular, is imprecise, which is why it's becoming a thing of the past.
Good morning, Monday, October the 27th, 7:33. Craig says, morning, Jeff and Ali. Great show. All is right in the world. In Crete, it's 29 degrees and sunny, and Arsenal are top of the league with another important 3 points. Oh, come on, Craig, you're making us all so blooming envious. Andrew Andy says, morning, boys, don't discount Man United for the league. We only have one game a week currently, and we are creeping up the league steadily. That's actually Andrew Fez in Salford, that is. Thanks very much indeed for that. Fez, I think, Costa, you would discount United for the league, but
oh yeah,
maybe not for the top four. Some of us did predict.
Not only am I discounting United for league, shamefully I'm going Hearts for the title. By the way, what have I done? I'm going to tell you something, right? See if they strengthen. I'm going to stick by it. See if Tony Bloom, see if they have a good January in terms of bringing one or two in. There's no reason, I'm saying right now, I don't think there's a reason why they can't.
No?
It's a big couple of months from up to January.
Yeah, no, strengthen when you are in a position.
But again, the flip side of the coin, it'd be interesting to see what Celtic do and Rangers do in January as well. I mean, Rangers have spent a few quid, but Celtic look as though they would need to strengthen as well. So, interesting times ahead.
Let's head for the phone line, shall we? 03717223344, the number to call. We asked Liverpool fans for their thoughts on 4 losses in the league on the bounce. Owen's given us a call. Morning, Owen.
Morning, Owen.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Ali. How are we doing?
Yeah, we're great, mate. We're doing good, but how are Liverpool fans doing?
Oh, honestly, I was sat in my living room on Saturday night watching that thinking, what on earth are we doing? It's just all that control that was from last season has just seems completely disintegrated. I understand, we've got new signings in and stuff like that, but what doesn't also help is after I watched the press conference against Eintracht Frankfurt, Arne Slot's basically, just in layman's terms, basically kind of said the reason we won is because we didn't have to face a low block and we didn't have to face a long ball. So now the rest of the whole league is just going to look at that and go, well, okay, long ball and low block it is, because they know that we clearly can't deal with it.
What do you think the overall problem is in wider areas? If you've got a low block, obviously, if you've got players that can go by people, and it certainly helps the situation. I mean, he scored one of the best goals of the weekend. There's no doubt about that for me, Owen. But at the same time, there's something not right with Salah, and I think that's one of the major things, mate.
I think just with Mo Salah, look, it's from a Liverpool fan's perspective, it's so hard to kind of go in on Mo Salah because of the stuff he's done. But we have to be here in the here and now. And I think it is a case. I think just Mother Time is slowly catching up to him. And I think as you've all said before, that link up he had with Trent is never going to get replaced ever.
Owen,
simply not possible.
I mentioned to Jeff, do you think you're missing Gravenberg at all? I really do, mate.
Massively.
Yeah.
Massively. He's a kind of tick player, but I actually do think it's the other areas in midfield. I mean, this nonsense of Dominic Szoboszlai right back has to stop.
Yeah.
Absolutely has to stop, because he is one of the main assets from our press in midfield. And with him not being there, we look absolutely clueless. Because there's times where we press as a single player, we just get pulled apart. We press as a unit, it looks better, and Szoboszlai's the start of that.
Owen, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Brian the Mackhams texted, says, contacting you from Mauritius. Oh, come on, Brian, don't rub it in.
That's a poor start right away, Brian.
All I hear is Arsenal, Spurs and Man United. Howie, man! What about Sunderland? Brian, hope you're listening. It's been a dream return to the Premier League for Sunderland.
Wise men say. There is the full-time whistle, and after 8 years away, Sunderland are Premier League again.
Did anyone expect them to get promoted the way they did and when they did? No, but they did.
And a chance here for Sunderland, and they've doubled the lead. And I think it's Dan Ballard. Sunderland 2, West Ham 0.
Late goal at the Stadium of Light.
It is Sunderland 2, Brentford 1, Wilson Isidore.
We're taking over, we're ready. We're coming to the Premier League. Give us a few seasons, we're building.
A couple of seasons, you'll be back in the Championship where you'd belong.
It's Sunderland 2, Wolves 0. Sunderland are moving up to 7th place.
Nottingham Forest 0, Sunderland 1. Sunderland, promoted via the playoffs in May, are sitting in the Champions League places in the Premier League.
Oh my goodness, Sunderland are going to win it here at Stamford Bridge, Alex Crook.
It is Chelsea 1, Sunderland 2. Ah, has anyone seen Jason Cundy? Chelsea pensioners, Stamford the Lion. Your boys took one hell of a beating.
Sunderland are second in the Premier League.
It's amazing, especially the connection with our fans.
Yeah, what a start it has been for Sunderland. They sit fourth in the table after the weekend's action. Let's get some more reaction with the real Sunderland legend, talkSPORT's Mickey Gray. Morning, Mickey.
Good morning, Mickey.
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Coisty. How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Brilliant, mate.
But hey, Mickey, could they possibly be this season's Nottingham Forest?
Well, there's no reason why they can't, Jeff. I mean, I've seen everything in the Premier League that it's got to offer this season, and I think the signings that Regis Labrie has made in the summer has surprised a lot of people, and I think the one that springs off the page has to be Granit Xhaka. I think he's kind of the one who's pulling everything together, but I think the youth and enthusiasm they've got around Granit Xhaka, they've all bought into the Premier League, and some of the performances this season so far have been absolutely fantastic. So why not? They could be the surprise, and it's an open Premier League this season, as we've seen over the weekend.
Mickey, I was there on Saturday. I went on Saturday. I was working obviously at the Brentford Liverpool game late on, but I went along to Chelsea to watch the game against Sunderland. Tell you what, mate, I was impressed. Really organised, and you say that, but you don't want to take anything away from the flair they've got, particularly in forward areas. I mean, the way that they set up, you know, as soon as they lose the ball, back into a back five. Really organised, you know, we're 3 or 4 and the one up front, solid, difficult to get through, and then as soon as they get the ball, you know, it goes into a kind of 4 and they go far more expansive. I really enjoyed watching them, mate.
Well, Coisty, I think the good thing as well is Regis Labrie, the manager, he's not frightened to change the system as well. I mean, they normally play with a 4 at the back. I think they changed it yesterday to a 5 because he knew that at times, obviously at Stamford Bridge, they were going to be under the cosh. And they just caught them on the break. And with the pace that they've got, they're always going to cause teams problems. And I think with Wilson Isidore up front, I mean, who's banging the goals, and I think that was his first away goal, they give themselves that fighting chance, and they always seem to be in games. I think there's only really the Manchester United game where they've kind of looked a little bit under par. I went to the Burnley game a little bit earlier on the season as well. They didn't perform well in that game. But other than that, they've competed. And the big surprise is, I mean, there's not much Premier League experience in that starting 11. And I keep mentioning Granit Xhaka, but he's the one only really who's got that experience. They've got a fantastic goalkeeper. Yes, he made a little bit of a howler yesterday in the game, but made up for it with some really good saves. But you're right about the forward players. I mean, Talby's goal at the end of the match is a great finish, and it just shows, I mean, they just kept themselves composed. I mean, with that support you've got behind them, it's just incredible. They're on a little bit of a wave at the minute, and they're enjoying it.
You know what I thought, Coisty, as well, that you'd gone, hadn't you, by then? The way that Brian Brobby held that ball up. And he was constantly looking for that support to come. Now, this is a boy who's not scored a goal for Sunderland yet. Would have been so easy, Mickey, for him to, to try and do it himself. But his awareness and the fact that he knew he's part of a team was so... I was blown away by it.
Yeah, I think the great thing about them, Jeff, albeit they have got that individual flair, they're playing as a team. There's no individual who thinks, right, well, I need to make the difference today. And the finish itself, if you look where the run came from Talby, he's left Caicedo in Chelsea's midfield in the opposition's half by the time he's got to the edge of the 18-yard area. But you're right about Brobby. It was brilliant, because normally you'd see a centre-forward who want to try and take on his defender and maybe get his shot away because it's so late on in the game. But the thought and the cleverness to just hold on to that ball and wait for the support to come to the end of the game was absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure those Sunderland supporters who travelled down to London yesterday, I'm sure they had a nice journey home, whether it was on the trains or the coaches. But absolutely fantastic result.
Mickey, I'm telling you, they were unbelievable. They never stopped the whole game. It was brilliant. Now, you mentioned, we touched on, you talk about the organisation in Sunderland, but I looked at the game, I really enjoyed it. The one thing that kind of knits them all together, and you touched on it, was Granit Xhaka. I can't tell you how impressed I've been with him this season. And I'll be brutally honest, I kind of opened my eyes a little bit at the signing. I wasn't sure. But I tell you what, he looks a real deal, doesn't he?
Well, the thing about it, Coisty, as well, and I think a lot of people have said exactly the same thing, because when Sunderland jumped into the Premier, I mean, they've waited 9 years for this. Yeah. Everybody looked at the signing of Granit Xhaka and thought, well, it's going to be hard enough playing with 11 men, but it's going to be more difficult playing with 10 men because of his track record of being in the Premier League and how many times he got sent off. I know he learned a little bit when he went to Leverkusen and obviously went there and won the championship, but it's a brilliant signing. How we've got it over the line, I do not know, but he's priceless at the moment. And there's a lot of clubs now in the Premier League and maybe thinking, why did we not go for him?
Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Mickey, thank you very much indeed.
Brilliant, Mickey. I think it's Everton at home on Monday. Are you going to that one?
I'm not there on Monday, but I think they're there in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait for it.
Tell you what, they're in dreamland, and you wouldn't put it beyond them beating Everton and strengthening that position. Yeah. And by the way, apart from Xhaka, I thought Lefay was sensational, Ranildo was sensational, and Dan Ballard.
I love him, man.
Me.
Love him.
What a performer he's been for them this season. Dean sent a couple of quick texts. He said, no one's talking about what the real problem is at Liverpool. McAllister wears the number 10 on his shirt. He is not and has never been a holding midfielder. You're absolutely right. Gravenberch has adapted to be one. Rice, Caicedo, Rodri. These are key players for other top clubs. And he then sends another one which says, Endo is no Hendo. Thank you very much indeed, Dean. All right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Wolves fans, we want to hear from you. Was yesterday's defeat at home to Burnley the final straw for Vitor Pereira?
Obviously, I liked Vitor Pereira. I thought he was a great manager when he first come in. I thought, first the points, then the points, all of that. It was brilliant. Got the fans back together. He's just out of his depth now. He's way out of his depth.
How can you be a great manager one season and out of your depth the next season, for goodness sake? 03717 223344. Well, do you think it's time up for Pereira? Is it right for the fans to be confronting him and some of the players? Give us a call.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling and Ally McCoist. Nick has texted in, says, Jeff, Ali, when Brentford beat West Ham, it was because West Ham were poor. When Brentford beat Liverpool, it was because Liverpool were poor. Why couldn't it just be Brentford were excellent in both games?
Oh, come on,
Nick,
they were.
They were. We mentioned Coyote, Henderson,
my.
Damsgaard was brilliant as well.
But pass of the weekend.
Oh, great ball.
Oh, Jeff, what a pass.
What a pass.
Do you know something? And the ball's come up to him, and you can actually see him have a quick look out to that left-hand flank. Now, I think he plays that ball slightly as a gamble, hoping that he's continued his run. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I just, Shadi, it was a brilliant pass.
And it's a cool finish as well, though, I have to tell you. I'm not sure about the Liverpool goalkeeper there. He sort of stand up, you know? I mean, yeah. But Brentford were brilliant. And by the way, Keith Andrews silenced any critics that he had at the start of the season, hasn't he? And done it so effectively. What else do we know this Monday morning? Hearts continued their fairy tale start to the Scottish Premiership season by beating Celtic 3-1. 8 points clear at the top they are now. Jude Bellingham scored his third winning goal against Barca to give Real Madrid a 5-point lead at the top of La Liga. And Fabio Wardley continued to come of age on Saturday night. He stopped Joseph Parker in round 11 to win the WBO interim title. His promoter Frank Warren has already said an undisputed shot against Alexander Usyk is next on the cards, and talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver isn't ruling out an upset.
Well, listen, Usyk would obviously start a huge favourite. You know, he's beaten everyone, hasn't he? He's beaten Tyson Fury twice. He's beaten Anthony Joshua twice. He's beaten Daniel Dubois twice. So he's cleaned up the division. But one man he has to get rid of now. There was talk of him, if he wants to do it, if he wants to continue, it has to be Joseph Parker, the informed guy. Well, Parker's just been beaten in an incredible fight where the action was insane last night. Both guys showed immense resilience and incredible courage in there. But Wardley come out the victor, and you go, he's earned his shot. So, you know, I think that it does warrant a fight with Alexander Usyk, and I think he's got the capabilities. I'm not saying he would win the fight, because again, he would start huge underdog, but he showed there that he's got that fighting spirit. And when you're a heavyweight and you can whack the way that he can, now, you know, he's 20-0, one draw with 19 of those 20 victories inside the distance. You go, you can't write him off.
Well, it was a brilliant win for him, a brilliant win. I mean, a slightly controversial one as well. He's been in the studio. He's a lovely,
great lad.
He's an absolutely lovely lad. Yep. You know, I'm very, very pleased for him. Against Usyk, though, big ass, Gally.
Too big for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that. Usyk, we've not seen anything from Usyk that's going to indicate that he's going to drop his standards or age is caught up or there's a deterioration there. I mean, it will happen eventually, or he might get out at the right time, Usyk. But right now, I mean, it's a great result. I get, you know, for Fabio Wardley at the weekend. Of that, there's no doubt, because I wasn't sure how that one would go. But I just think you're talking about a different animal, Usyk.
Completely. For more boxing news and views, head over to the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, as well as our website, talksport.com. Right, time now for this.
How can you not love the EFL when it throws up moments like this?
Here's Hawk!
Ball's come back to Zamora!
Tick off again! City fans can't believe it. What a match.
Windass! Quite simply destined to be from Team Windass. We're in London. Hey, we're in London, aren't we?
Leeds can beat you 4-1. They're a fantastic team. But we had someone in the bushes that day twice this season now.
No sirve para nada.
I didn't know I would have such a reaction.
That ghost didn't head one in on Saturday. We didn't defend properly, you great chicken nugget.
We hear that Jimmy Glass, the goalkeeper, has scored for Carlisle.
You just never know which twist any game is going to turn next.
Must I forever be...
Time for a swift canter through the EFL at the weekend. It's a great weekend,
wasn't it?
Again, I tell you, if you're a Coventry fan, you are absolutely incredible at the moment.
3-0 up at half time.
Yeah.
Do you know that's... Now, you tell me if I'm wrong. I think they've scored 34 goals, you know.
It's something like that. What I noticed was, I mean, obviously they're 3 points clear at the top. Their goal difference is plus 25. The next best in the Championship is plus 9.
Wow.
Well, it tells you everything, doesn't it, really? Brilliant.
I mean, brilliant. What a job Frank's doing there. Yeah. Fantastic. More power. And you know something? I'm really, really pleased. I'm delighted for him. I'm obviously delighted for coming.
He used to take some terrible stick. Completely
diabolical.
Unjustified stick.
Diabolical. And you also think about those Coventry fans, right, who in the past couple of decades have been dragged here, there, and everywhere. Genuinely concerned about their club moving forward. Really refreshing and more strength to them. Brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic for them. And we must mention, because Joe would never forgive us. Joe works here as a big Millwall fan. 4 wins in a row, up to 3rd place in the table. Fantastic. At the other end, obviously, Sheffield Wednesday went to administration. The fans row back, 27,000 at Hillsborough against Oxford at the weekend. And we were talking about it, Coisty. They sold more than £200,000 worth of merchandise.
Isn't that brilliant?
Friday lunchtime
Saturday.
and Saturday. Absolutely.
I just think that's phenomenal. I really do. That's football fans fee.
16 points off safety. I mean, look, they're almost certainly going to be relegated, but whoever buys them, and somebody will, they know they've got a club with fantastic potential there. Look, we spoke to Matt Letizia last week about Southampton. Huge pressure now on Will Still. They lost to Blackburn. They've won 1 out of 9. They're 20th. And the fans, really unhappy because he took off Leo Cienza after 68 minutes, who is probably their best player at the moment. They were 1-0 up. He was their goal scorer.
Yeah.
And he replaced them with a central defender in Jack Stevens. So they then conceded 2.
Well, there's your problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, see if you hang on, you win 1-0. You're saying what a great job of managing.
Yeah.
Tactically fantastic. Takes off the forward, lose 2 goals, beat 2-1. That's it.
Well, he said afterwards it backfired. You're not kidding there. Their own fans were singing sacked in the morning. This was a high-profile appointment, Will Still, when they took him on at Southampton, and he just has not gone to plan at all. I watched them against Bristol City in midweek when they lost 3-1. And I watched the first half hour or so, and Southampton went 1 up. They were utterly dominant, and I thought, well, Saints are going to go on and win this by 2-3-4, something like that. Lost 3-1. Don't understand it.
No, and they're in trouble. I mean, another one that's down there as well, but Norwich.
Yeah, oh,
dear me, what's happened there?
Absolutely, and for goodness sake, lost away from home at the weekend. They can't win at home again. They haven't picked up a point at home all season. This is Norwich City, who sit in the relegation places at the moment. Yeah. I mentioned the Southampton fans were chanting sacked in the morning for Will Still. Peterborough didn't wait till the morning. Darren Ferguson's fourth spell in charge of Peterborough ended after
second bottom, wasn't it?
Yeah. They're bottom now, and because they lost the second bottom.
Yeah, I know that.
In his statement, Darren Anthony, who's a friend of the station, of course, he called Darren Ferguson the greatest manager in the club's history, and then sacked him.
I know. Well, many times he's been there at least 3. He's had 3 stints. It might be 4.
He's had 4.
Yeah,
he's had 4 stints. Grant McCann is the other one. The times that Darren Ferguson's not in charge, Grant McCann's in charge, so he's at Donny at the moment. Well, I have no idea whether Peterborough plan to make a move for him again or not. But it is. He wasn't the only manager who went. I was really, really sad to see that Noel Hunt was sacked by Reading after their 1-1 draw against Doncaster Rovers. That's 1 defeat in 8, by the way, in all competitions for Reading. Okay, they started the season really poorly, but look to have been picking up. And Rob Kutig, the owner, says, this is a really difficult day for Reading FC. Well, no, Rob, it's not. It's not. It's a difficult day for Noel Hunt, not for Reading FC. And then goes on to say, he's always welcome back. He praises him to the heavens, said he was a player, he's at the academy, the under-23s. But Rob, you sacked him. So it's no use damning him with faint praise, having sacked him.
And lost only 1 in the previous 8, is that what you're telling me?
1 of 8 they've lost, yeah. All competitions, that is.
Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, you'd have to suggest there's a corner being turned there, would you not?
Yeah. I was very surprised indeed. Although Reading fans may feel differently. Finally, and look, this is something I saw on social media, and I have no evidence to tell whether it's true or not, but I expect it really could be. It's certainly worth mentioning. Jamie Curitin.
Unbelievable. I read it.
Is now 50, I believe.
Unbelievable. I read it.
First player to have scored in England's top 10 tiers.
That's ridiculous.
10 tiers. He scored for Kings Park Rangers, who play in non-league step 6 at the weekend. I mean, that is simply beyond belief.
I just think that's a beautiful story. It really is. That's up there with the Swedish mob winning that league.
Yeah.
I mean, scoring in the top 10 flights.
Incredible.
That'll never get done again. I'm safely going to predict that will never be done again. That record stays with you, Jamie, mate, forever. It's fantastic, and congratulations.
A big story in the National League, of course, was that Nicky Featherstone got his first win as Hartlepool interim manager at the weekend when they beat Solihull Moors 2-0. Well done, Nicky. Coming up, we hear from a Wolves fan who thinks the manager's a clown. That's next.
Formula One. It's a sport often seen as insular and elitist, but it's seen a meteoric rise under its owners Liberty Media, not only in popularity and viewership, but in the ability to almost print money. From greater access to more races, here's how it happened. For decades, Formula One was owned and run by one man, Bernie Ecclestone. He was old school, someone who thought the sport itself was enough, and there was no need for all this modern marketing and social media nonsense. But in 2016, Ecclestone agreed to sell his baby to American group Liberty Media. It cost Liberty Media $4.4 billion, and they quickly got to work. We got an F1 app almost immediately, and teams were allowed to show us more from behind the scenes. One of Liberty's most important deals was with Netflix, which in 2019 brought us Drive to Survive. The effect? An almost 70% rise in viewership for races in the US alone. It's massively benefited Formula One online too, with a rise from 7.8 million followers across its social media platforms in 2016 to around 50 million today. New eyes are on the sport too, with F1's own subscription TV channel, which people can watch anywhere in the world. But the main market they've tapped into is the US. There's now 3 races there a year, in Texas, Miami and Las Vegas, and an American-branded team, Cadillac, getting involved in the sport too. More races seems to be the direction of travel. A street circuit in Madrid's being welcomed onto the calendar, while conversations around a Grand Prix in Africa have ramped up in the last few years. More big events could be in the offing too, after the massive F1 75 season launch event in London in 2025. 7.5 million people tuned in to watch it live across the social media channels, and that doesn't include the viewing figures for where it was broadcast on TV in certain countries. It seems Liberty will do whatever they can to grow the F1 brand. Their efforts have been worthwhile too, with Forbes valuing the sport at $17.1 billion back in 2023, almost 4 times more than what they bought it for in 2016. Not bad, considering it's seen as a sport where people just drive around in circles.
Morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist and Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Now, what a dreadful start of the season it has been for Wolves. 2 points from the first 9 games. Manager Vitor Pereira has gone from drinking beer in the pub with the fans to clashing with them after losing at home to Burnley. It's gone from pints to big problems.
Wang to steer it home! He does! Wolves make Manchester United pay, and the revival continues. Vitor Pereira leads the celebration.
I go to a pub to drink my beer, to be with the supporters.
Another pint of Doom Bar for you, Vitor?
Cheers, cheers. This is the beer that I like.
Back-to-back defeats then at the start of the season for Wolves.
When we lose a game, I hope that they will concede me to go in the pub to be with them.
Wolves 1, Leeds 3. Wolves booed off after suffering 5 defeats from 5.
When I watch Wolves now, they can't defend, they can't attack.
I think we've only stayed up because the teams that had come up had been weak.
Wolves 2, Burnley 3 is how it finishes. A chorus of boos around Molineux. Wolves stay rooted to the bottom. No win so far. 2 points from 9 games. Big, big trouble.
First the points, then the points. You know, all of that. It was brilliant. He's just out of his depth now. He's way out of his depth.
2 months ago, they sing my name. But, you know, this is football. And I know that if we win the next 2 or 3 games, everything changes.
Yeah, you'll have seen the pictures of the confrontation afterwards between Pereira, Jürgen Strand-Larsen and the fans. Text from Chris Kai and Zach, Wolves fans heading home from the game to Portsmouth. He said, it's a long journey. Must have been a long evening, eh, boys? He said, the reality is we're not good enough. Andre is the only one of the players who's good enough to play Premier League football, and Vitor drops him based on a personality clash. We look weak at the back, out of ideas going forward. Trying to do things on the cheap catches you out eventually. How late the signings were also made didn't allow a pre-season for us to gain any rhythm. So angry and so disappointed. 0371722 3344 is the number to call. Let's speak to another Wolves fan. Glenn's given us a call. Morning, Glenn.
Morning, Glenn.
Morning, lads. How you doing?
We're doing fine. What are you thinking? What do you think the main problem is? Because, Glenn, I've got to say to you, mate, and I'll tell you the truth, I don't think it's a major surprise, and I'll give you my reason before I give you the floor. I look as we do. We make our predictions at the start of the season, and I just thought you'd lost 1 or 2 players, and I'm not sure you had the quality to keep going the way you had been going.
100% agree, Ali. Over the last 3 seasons, we've lost 4 captains. At the end of last season, we lost Cunha, Aït-Nouri, Semedo, all 3 starters, and Sarabia was always our first sub. We replaced them with poor players, and if your ambition in the Premier League is to tread water, eventually you go down. And the manager did a great job when he came in last season, but the last 4 managers have been lied to by our owners. Lopetegui proved that when he went public. But now when I look at this team, we've taken 3 points out of the last 39 available in the Premier League. We won 6 in a row, and we haven't won since. And yesterday when I saw his starting 11, I take we all travel together, friends. I said to him, if I haven't got you here, I'd rather go home and walk my dogs than watch this. I knew what was coming yesterday. The manager, at the start of the season, he said, no captain, I've got 4 leaders. Jose Zar, Matt Doherty, Totti, and Joe Gomez. Not one started yesterday.
Yeah.
He just doesn't understand his best starting 11. We've got no identity. And like you just said, I think Gabby said against Brighton at home, we were leading, and he starts to defend with 30 plus minutes to go. And this is a team that can't keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, it's a very difficult time to be a Wolves fan. Glenn, feel your pain. Thank you very much indeed.
I think it's also worth mentioning a brilliant result. Brilliant result for Burnley, by the way.
Oh, it was a fantastic result.
Great goals from Fleming as well. Enjoyed it.
But the first one took it so well.
Excellent goal.
Let's find out what's next for Wolves with their writer for The Athletic, Steve Madeley. Morning, Steve.
Good morning, Steve.
Morning, Dad. You okay?
Yeah, really good. Thanks, mate. Look, it's only 38 days since Vitor Pereira signed a new 3-year deal. Surely his job's not in doubt just at this stage.
I don't think it's an immediate doubt. That's kind of the feeling I get. But the run that you've just talked about, not many managers kind of survive that. So, yeah, I don't think it's an immediate doubt, but questions have to be being asked now, I think.
Steve, tell me, I said to Glenn there, the Wolves supporter, is what we're seeing here, I mean, is it a major surprise, really? Is it, genuinely?
I don't think so. I think the wider public could probably be forgiven for being surprised because if you look at the last 3 seasons, Wolves, at the end of the season, haven't been particularly close to being relegated. They've stayed up with something to spare every time. But yeah. I think Wolves fans who watch it more closely would tell you that this has been a kind of gradual, incremental weakening of the squad, and every summer they've sold their best players in recent times, and on some occasions they've done quite well in replacing them. Other occasions they've done less well, and this summer, so far, it looks like they've done really badly in replacing them, and kind of the chickens are coming home to roost a little bit.
Well, the fans yesterday were chanting, "You sold the team, now sell the club." I mean, that's the truth, isn't it? That Pereira has had the rug pulled from under his feet by the owner's Fosun.
Yeah, I think it's a really difficult job for Vitor Pereira. He's lost Matheus Cunha, he's lost Nelson Semedo, he's lost Ryan Nouri, he's lost Pablo Sarabia, who Glenn also mentioned wasn't a regular starter, but often made an impact off the bench, and they've replaced them with players who at the moment don't look good enough. I guess the question that Vitor Pereira would have to answer, and probably what the fans have put into him, is the squad poor enough to only have 2 points from 9 games, and 9 relatively inviting games if you look at who they've played so far, compared to the start that Gary O'Neill had last year when they also had 2 points after 9 games. Was a brutal start. They played pretty much all of the big clubs in their first 9 games. That hasn't happened this year. So, yes, it's a poor squad. Yes, it's been a difficult job for Vitor Pereira, but I think you could still probably make a case that the squad is good enough to have more points than it's had.
Well, I think, and it's not going to get any easier, is it? I think a couple of trips to Fulham and Chelsea coming up as well. So, I mean, it's not going to get any easier, Steve, that's for sure.
No, and that Fulham game already, again, looks like a massive one, doesn't it?
It does.
Because you look at how the 3 promoted clubs are doing really well so far, then you're looking at who else you could possibly catch, and Fulham at the moment look like one of them. So they've got to go there and win. But then we said that about Sunderland away, and we said it about yesterday, and they lost both. So yeah, it's not looking great at the moment.
What's your feeling, Steve, about the fans? Have most of them turned against Pereira, or do the majority still back him?
No, I think there's an increasing number that have turned against him, but I think it's quite a complicated situation, because I think most of the fans would probably tell you that Pereira is not the underlying problem at Wolves. The underlying problem at Wolves is that the ownership, since COVID and since Nuno left the club, have made some poor decisions, and maybe not underinvesting, because even this summer they've actually spent quite a bit of money, but they've probably invested quite poorly and in the wrong areas and on in some cases, the wrong players. So Vitor Pereira is definitely not the biggest problem at Wolves, but I do think a lot of fans now are beginning to think, well, something needs to change, and what else can we change in the short term other than the manager?
Steve, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks for your time, mate.
No problem.
Darren, the Spurs fan, says some of these Wolves fans are delusional and fickle. One season, Pereira's great. The next season, he is garbage. Jill, who's a regular contributor, says, morning to my two favourite breakfast presenters. Can I just say, we're back, baby, looking so much better. She's a Manchester United fan, of course.
Never a guess, Jill.
And Jill says, I won't forgive you if you don't read this message. So I read it, Jill. Coming up, Ali's declared this morning that Hearts will definitely win the Scottish Premiership title. We'll discuss that more next.
Holy moly, guacamole. I mean, that's remarkable.
Good morning, 20 past 8, Monday, October the 27th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Ally McCoist is with you right through till 10 o'clock. The latest episode of the 21 Minutes to Go podcast with Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy is out now. Plenty of oddities in this week's edition, including those two. But after just 16 episodes, there seems to be trouble in paradise.
I'm never late. Whenever am I late?
Whenever we do this, you're always late.
No, but I'm always
Stop
here.
banging on desk as well. You always bang.
Sorry.
You're always late.
No, I'm always here.
But you're never in here.
Where I am, Stinks.
It's a real bugbear of mine.
No, Stinks, I'm always here. I'm in the building.
I come off there and I'm like a bit tired, 3 hours.
No, you're grumpy.
I put everything into it.
Oh, look,
and I'm like, where's Jay?
You're getting grumpy.
Where's Jay? Oh, he's in the toilet. Why? He's had 3 hours to have a wee.
Grumpy Stinks. Don't be grumpy.
Yeah,
There's no point in being grumpy. Oh, here we go. Well, where's the violin? Violin.
Yeah, because I've had root canal.
Oh, what hurty tooth.
Right, I hope you have pain.
Oh, hurty tooth.
When was the last time you had pain?
I may have had a ball removed.
That's a bit... What? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, you were probably like me, not paying too much attention.
Exactly.
And then just heard the last phrase. If you fancy spending...
Along with his brain, but it sounds of things.
Yeah. So if you fancy spending 21 minutes of your life listening to utter nonsense, it will seem longer than 21 minutes.
Oh, man.
Go and enjoy 21 Minutes to Go, now available on your favourite podcast provider.
Only kidding, Jace. Thanks for the ticket, mate.
Right. It's time for the latest odds now with Coral and Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Yes. Ally McCoist predicting that Hearts would indeed win the league. Steve-O, good morning to you.
Morning, Steve-O.
Gentlemen, a very, very good morning. I think Cundy won that last particular argument, by the way, didn't he, with his punchline. Anyway, I'm so glad we've started with this SPL title race. Ali, you watch a lot more of this league than I do.
Yes.
Are Hearts brilliant? Are Celtic underperforming? Is it a bit of both?
Yes.
But more importantly, have we got the betting completely wrong now as bookmakers? 8 points clear Hearts, and yet they are still second favourites, 6-4. Celtic 6-4 on. Have we got that wrong as bookmakers?
No. But just because of recent form.
But you just said Hearts were going to win the league.
Oh, I'll take a 60. I wouldn't take a 64. If you give me 5-1, I'll sum it. But my point is this, to let me qualify it, right? Recent history would indicate your odds are spot on, right? When was the last team, Steve? Was it Aberdeen? Fergie's Aberdeen, 1985 or something like that. So
it probably is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is, mate. So that's why I would suggest that your odds are probably fair, right? However, unlike the point I was trying to make, unlike when Aberdeen went in their run at the start of last season, right? Celtic weren't that bad.
Yeah.
I think they've dipped seriously, and we know Rangers have dipped. That's why my argument is it might be slightly different. And on top of that, Steve-O, Hearts have got two men in charge that know their way about. That's Derek McInnes and Tony Bloom, right?
Don't they just, yeah.
So they know their way about. That is another big difference. So there you go. There's my 10 pence worth.
So Hearts' second favourites, there's no question about who the favourites are in the Premier League. And I would imagine they've shortened over the weekend. The Gunners have they, Steve-O?
It was the perfect weekend for them, Jeff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They got the win. Mixed reports on that win. They ground it out 1-0 to the Arsenal, wasn't it? But they are now 4-9. Manchester City couldn't keep pace, losing to Villa. They're 9-2. Liverpool losing to Brentford, and apparently, were very much second best.
Oh, they were, mate. I was at the game. Steve, there's no doubt about that. I mean, yeah. Brentford were excellent. Absolutely excellent. Do you think it's going to be one of those seasons, mate? Because with Jeff and I have been speaking about it, is it going to be one of those seasons, a little bit of inconsistency from the teams that we would take as been favourites, although Arsenal haven't really showed much inconsistency at this moment in time?
No, they're the exception, aren't they? Which is why they're 4-9. Liverpool 7-1. Manchester United 25. But this is exactly the point, Ali. If you're a fan of Bournemouth, if you're a fan of Sunderland, ever since Leicester City pulled off the miracle, you are entitled to dream. Yep. Excuse me. Now, I'm not saying Sunderland are going to go and win the Premier League. I'm not saying Bournemouth are going to go and win the Premier League. But given Liverpool, given Manchester City, given Chelsea, are still inconsistent. Why shouldn't those teams be aiming for top 4? They're entitled to, we always say, don't judge the Premier League or the season until you're 10 games in. Well, we're nearly there. We're 9 games in, and Sunderland, Bournemouth are there on merit. And it's just, it's so much more interesting. You know, as a bookmaker, I welcome shock results. But as a football fan, you know, a fan of a team outside the Premier League, I welcome this sort of... Now, as I say, Arsenal are the exception. If they keep it going, they could do what Liverpool did last year and have this wrapped up fairly early. That's the top. But down the bottom, if I'd have said to you...
Steve, before you go to the bottom, tell us then, what price are Bournemouth to win the Premier League?
There we go. Bournemouth are now... they're 66 to 1 to finish top 4. And as I say, that's possibly more realistic. They're only 100 to 1, though, to win the title. So... You're never going to get the repeats of the 5,000 to 1 because that cost bookmakers a fortune. So they're all priced much more realistically. But as I say, look at the job he's doing here, Iraola. Absolutely fantastic, given the players they lost. And we'd have expected Sunderland, to be in the relegation betting. Now, if I'd have said to you, Jeff, 9 games in, not one of the promoted teams from last year is in the bottom 4. You'd have probably laughed.
Yeah.
But that's where we are. That means Wolves 7-2 on to be relegated are in a world of trouble. We saw what happened. West Ham 4-7 to be relegated. Fulham 6-1. Burnley, the one promoted team that are still odds on 1-2. But Leeds 3-1. Well, they're not going down on current form, you wouldn't have thought. And Sunderland most definitely aren't. So it's been a brilliant 9 days and 9 games so far. And yeah, look, aside from Arsenal, this whole league is about unpredictability.
Oh, it's brilliant, mate. It's fantastic. Just a quick one, Steve-o. But I must have not to mention this. British Racing United says 363 signed open letter urging Reeves to abandon the tax hike. You'd be staggered if she abandons the tax hike, wouldn't you? Or will she listen?
Ali, I've got to be careful. We're talking about politicians. Yes. Nothing surprises me. It's a crucial decision for the betting industry, of course it is, which will have a huge knock-on on the racing industry and the consumer, who is the punter in this case. Absolutely. So we await, as does the whole nation. Look, the budget next month is going to be crucial for all of us. Talking of racing, we've got a Coral Racing Club runner going at Wolverhampton tonight. Rockstar Icon, the brilliant Holly Doyle rides that one in the 6 o'clock. Looking forward to that. And if I could just indulge myself, it's my dad's birthday today. I won't give his age away, but he is a fan of the red wine medicine. A glass of red wine a day keeps the doctor away, and like a good red wine, he's
knowing your age, Steve, he must be some age, so happy birthday to him, I can tell you that.
That was a low blow to
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. Steve-o, thank you very much indeed.
Take care, pal.
Thank you, fellas.
And that was a look at the latest odds, all thanks to Correlating+Gambleaware.org. Andy, thank you very much. Morning, lads. Jeff, I feel the need to apologise to you. Every week I've messaged in and laughed at your Man United top 4 prediction. Have they turned a corner? I am a fool to have ever doubted your predictions. Well, just bear in mind, Andy, I did predict that Sheffield United would win the championship. So maybe not such a fool.
But fair play to United.
They're
couple of great results.
Yeah, they look like they've turned a corner. They do. And in fact, coming up, we will turn our attention to Manchester United and whether Ruben Amorim is finally proving he is the right man for the job. 03717 223344 is the number to call to have your say.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Hey, very good morning to you. It is 8:33, Monday, October the 27th. Now, it just confused me because I'm looking at the two different clocks.
You've not mastered that yet, have you?
No, because the one in my eye line says that it's 9:34.
I should go and cover that.
And the one that's not in my eye line says it's 8:33. So, just vaguely confusing.
I think you make a very valid point. Right, I can understand one of the clocks being hour ahead, right? But I can't understand one of the clocks being 1 hour and 14 seconds ahead.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too confusing at this time of the morning. Look, I've got a text from Sean who says, Jeff loves reading out a text message from the listeners, unlike other breakfast shows. Oh, thanks for that, Sean. We do. We love a text message.
Yeah.
Or
keeps them involved, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, because it's your show as much as ours. And you lot are all absolutely brilliant. The contributions are fantastic. And here's another one. He said, why don't we talk about Liverpool's £120 million flop Florian Wirtz? If that was a Manchester United player, the media would be hammering him, saying we've overpaid for him. But as it's a Liverpool player, he needs time to adapt. I get your point, Sean. My view is that he needs time to adapt.
Yeah.
But at the moment, he's miles off it, as Gabby would say.
Yeah.
Crying shame.
That is, it's interesting. The one player for me, it'd be interesting in Liverpool fans' thoughts. Actually, Curtis Jones is the one that's kind of impressed me in the last couple of games that I've seen them when they haven't been performing. But you watch Wirtz. And I watched them on Saturday night as well, and I obviously saw them on Wednesday where after they went one down they were excellent, completely different performance. But I watched them on Saturday, and against that high tempo aggression, in your face football, I thought he struggled a little bit. But even when Liverpool with the ball, Jeff, I'm watching him, he floats ahead of Jones and Szoboszlai and plays in a wee 10 area, but behind the Brentford midfield and kind of in front of their back four, but he couldn't find any space. And I'm watching him, and it's not, to be fair to him, it's not through the lack of trying. He's looking for wee pockets, but they're just not there at this moment in time.
So is he at the moment a luxury that Liverpool can't afford, bearing in mind the run they're in?
Well, they're going to have to do something to change to get him on the ball, because he's not on the ball nearly enough. Even Salah, I was watching Salah as well. Now, the one thing about Salah and Gakpo, they give you width in that Liverpool front line. They definitely give you width. But I'm watching Salah, and I don't know whether it was under instruction or he just did it himself to try and get involved. Like sometimes when things aren't going well, you're not playing well as a player, you just want to get a touch of the ball, keep yourself involved. Now, he came in off that right-hand side. Now, don't get me wrong, Conor Bradley went up, and kind of played in that position. But Salah came in maybe 10, 15 yards and then kind of dropped into a wee pocket as well. So they're definitely struggling, I think, to get their top players on the ball against an organised back line, and it's something they're going to have to change or find a solution to.
Anyway, Sean, look, you don't want to hear us talking about Liverpool players. You're a United fan. You want to hear us talking about United. So here we go. Things definitely looking up at Old Trafford.
Manchester United 2, Sunderland 0, and the full-time whistle blows as you come to us on Ruben Amorim's 50th game as Manchester United manager. He celebrates with 3 points.
And Manchester United have inflicted a fourth successive defeat on the champions. They've won at Anfield for the first time since a solitary Wayne Rooney goal here back in 2016.
If you see our fans, and they are amazing, the way they even fight in the difficult moment when Liverpool is winning titles and we are suffering, to see them singing during the games and being here, it's so important.
Manchester United 4, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. It was a well-deserved win for the home side, but needlessly nervous. And I'm off for a sit-down.
What an upturn it has been since all the doom and gloom. United 4, Brighton 2. And my prediction of a top 4 place here, not looking so daft now. No. And look, what they have done, of course, I think there are still defensive frailties, and we saw it when Brighton, who'd been rotten, by the way, for most of the game, got back into it. Changed the goalkeeper. He looks a lot more solid. But it's the attacking output, isn't it?
Without
Cunha's been good, but I thought Mbeumo was absolutely outstanding at the weekend.
I do. I couldn't agree more. I agree with you. I think I really, really like Cunha. I have for a number of seasons now, Jeff. I think he's top quality. I really do. I think he's quality. And Buemo's now, I think he's got 3 in his last 2 games. Do you know what they've got? They've got a wee bit about them, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because, make no mistake about it, now, probably more than any time, it's quite a tough gig playing for United, right? Because you're not going into a side with Sir Alex where you're winning every week and things in the garden are rosy, you're winning championship and winning cups and you're reaching the latter stages of the Champions League. That's, I think still a good bit away. But you're easier if you're a good player going into that side than it is going into the United side right now. But Cunha has made a difference and Buemo's definitely made a difference. Šeško, to a lesser degree, right? But the most important thing, I'll look at the 2 that I've mentioned. They look as though they can handle it. You know what I'm saying? They look as though they can handle playing for United. Højlund has left, and I wish him all the very best, and I think he'll go on and score goals, as he is doing, go on and score goals. But he looked as though he couldn't handle it. Those 2 that I mentioned look as though they can.
Yeah, I mean, 3 wins on the bounce. Even Sir Jim Ratcliffe was in the stands posing for selfies. Well, he wasn't smiling, but he was posing for selfies. Look, away to Forest, away to Spurs, the next 2 league games. They haven't got any European football.
It's a big help,
which is a big help for them in terms of playing. I mean, not financially. It's not
of course
help,
it's not.
But in terms of playing, what's the best they could realistically hope for?
Well, you said top 4, and I did laugh at you. I'm one of those ones that laughed at you, right? I did it because I could not see it. But again, you look at we're making this argument whether it's Scotland or England, whatever league we're talking about. You look at the major inconsistencies in teams around them. The Chelseas, the Tottenhams, even Manchester City, Liverpool. So if they do continue on a run and turn the corner, they could finish top 4. They actually could, and that would have staggered me, I need to tell you. But there definitely has been an improvement in the last 3 games. Obviously, the victory against Sunderland, which now, having seen Sunderland on Saturday, looks a better result than I thought it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously a couple of great results at Liverpool and win at the weekend.
Questions about Brighton defensively, by the way, as well. No clean sheet in the league this season, and they've got a couple of dodgy fullbacks. That's just my view. Nobody questioning Ruben Amorim's system now, by the way, is there? Well, it doesn't seem that way. Anyway, let's take a call, shall we? A very happy United fan. It's David. Good morning, David.
Good morning, David.
Morning, Ali. How are you? We made the long trek from Bucky to Manchester at the weekend again. Arrived back last night after a 2-hour delay on the flight, and it was brilliant. Atmosphere was absolutely brilliant. It was like going back in time. The singing was great. The crack was great. Everybody was up for it. And more importantly, the boys look like they're together again.
Well, there's my point, David. You made a great point, and I'd be interested to hear your travel, how you get down there, things like that. But I want to ask you about the football first. What is the difference, do you think, the last 3 games? I mean, we're talking about formations and all that kind of stuff, and nobody's moaning about the 3 in the back. Has the goalkeeper made a difference in terms of confidence throughout, particularly the defence and the rest of the team?
Definitely. He is calming. The 2 feet thing, Amarin's been speaking about it all the time in the build-ups. It doesn't matter where they give him the ball back, Ali. He clears his lines.
Yeah.
They're not trying to invite boys onto them. They're not trying to play that short ball. They did it a couple of times, but 9 times out of 10, he was looking for the long balls. He was looking to clear his feet, let them build properly. Keane said last week, Cunha played like a man that hadn't been paid for 3 months. And Cunha ran himself into the ground. And Bueno ran himself into the ground. The goal goes in. Everybody celebrates. De Ligt is a captain without the armband, but he's backing Bruno up the time, blocking everything, charging across, diving in. There's nobody there now that's causing these problems. They're all wanting to fight for one another. If you've got that in a team, you will turn it round. And that's what's happening. The atmosphere, the energy, the positiveness, that's what it is. Switch off all the noise of the media. Everybody's been very quiet the last couple of weeks about systems and everything else. Just let the boys do what they're doing. We want to be winning leagues, but I think, will get top 5, top 4 this season now, having seen them.
Brilliant, David. Let's just a quick one for you. Are you a better team with Harry Maguire on the team?
No, but I think Maguire's a great player to be part of the squad. We're a better squad with Harry Maguire there, and I think he's a great player to come in for the right games and certain games. I like the boy Euro. I think the boy Euro's got huge potential. The interesting question is, when Martinez comes back, is it De Ligt, Martinez and Euro? Is that your back three? Does Shaw then go to left wing back, or has he got the energy, the legs for it? Does Darlow stay there? The interesting thing, Amarin loves Mount. That's clear. Where does Mount fit in from there? But the two boys, Mbeumo and Cunha, if you look at Cunha, there was a great post on his wife's Instagram yesterday, and it was Cunha, and she said, where you've always wanted to be, darling, or words to that effect.
Brilliant. David, got to stop you there, but thank you very much indeed.
David.
Brilliant. By the way, which is where David says, I was impressed, the trek from Bucky to Manchester, and then he says the flight was 2 hours late. You can't call flying a trek. I just want to very quickly, next up, by the way, Forest away for United, and then a lunchtime trip to Spurs a week after that, which is live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Bang up against it time-wise. I just want to read out as best I can this text, although it's printed itself about 3 times, so it's quite complicated. Hi, Jeff. Not sure if you remember us. You gave us a shout out on Soccer Saturday a few years back. Every year on the first Saturday of November, whoever scores the first goal from the 3 o'clock kickoff that comes up on the Sky Sports video printer, that's where we go for the weekend. The following weekend, there are 3 of us. It gives us a week to sort out travel accommodation, and if the team who've scored the said goal happen to be at home the following Saturday, tickets to the game, so on and so forth. We save £40 a month each from January, which gives us £1,200 to sort something out in a week. Well, next weekend marks our 10th anniversary, and I wonder if you were interested in mentioning the story on your breakfast show. To date, we've been to Doncaster, Blackpool, Forest Green Rovers, Milton Keynes, Wolves, which ended up being Stafford Rangers, who were great, Hibs, Sheffield United, Accrington Stanley and Aldershot. We've had some fantastic trips with some fantastic hospitality. You might recall it was originally a quartet, but sadly we lost one of our team to prostate cancer early in 2020. But we raise a glass to him every trip. So their 10th anniversary, first weekend in November. Haven't got the name of the texter, but we look forward to seeing where you're going to. It's the first team that scores on the video printer in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Right, still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Now, a month ago, we had former Liverpool striker Ricky Lambert on the show with the Reds playing poorly but winning games and sitting pretty top of the table.
Eventually, with the quality that we've got, it's inevitable that we're going to get a chance, but I'm hoping it's not going to be like that for too much longer and that we're going to start putting teams to bed earlier.
It's not quite worked out like that. 4 league defeats on the spin. Ricky will join us at 9 to discuss whether the title is slipping away. Plus, we'll kick off a brand new feature, McCoist's Magic Moments. And that was our look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling and Ally McCoist. I mentioned that text about the guys, the three guys now who go to a different ground depending on the Soccer Saturday video printer. First goal, 3 o'clock, first weekend in November. It's from Mark Kelly. So thanks for that, Mark. And the best of luck to you. We've been talking about Manchester United and singing their praises. Not everyone's convinced. George in Bexley Heath, who is a Man United fan, says, I think we're still one game away from a crisis again, so let's not get carried away too soon. Oh, come on, George. You get carried away. You've run 3 in a row.
I tell you who will be getting carried away. With them on. What's your man called with the haircut? He's not getting his haircut till they win 4 in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Can you remember his name? We had him on.
5 in a row. He needs another 2 yet.
Oh, I thought it was 4. Did he go 5?
He's 5, yeah. He went big. 5.
Oh, that was a bit aggressive, wasn't it?
Yeah. Phil, the Rotherham fan, says, morning, boys. And your AFL roundup, but you forgot to mention the mighty Rotherham United. 1-0 win at Barnsley. First win at their ground since 1970. 55 years.
That can't be right.
Wow, Phil, that's a length of time, isn't it?
Because I would imagine they play each other. Well, clearly not.
You'd imagine a lot, yeah. Been similar levels over the years. So, Phil, thank you very much indeed for that. Well done to Rotherham at the weekend. Commiserations to Barnsley and my mate Reyes Cleary. Nottingham Forest in the drop zone. By the way, something I hadn't thought to mention was you look at the drop zone now. Wolves bottom, West Ham second from bottom, Nottingham Forest third from bottom. Could you see the season finishing with those sides in exactly those positions?
Jeff, you've killed me already today with Hearts winning the league. Right. That's all I'm going to get. Now, if you think I'm going to nail my colours to the mast and tell you West Ham, Wolves and Forest, you can forget it.
Okay.
But in answer to the question, what I would say is I think we are all really, really pleasantly surprised at the performances and the results of the newly promoted sides.
It's been brilliant.
It's been fantastic. I think it's just a wee bit early to say who's going to go down at this moment in time. I would say Wolves look bang in trouble. That's kind of stating the obvious. I'm not going to get many points for that. They look as though they're really bang in trouble. But there'll be improvement in Forest.
With the squad is so
of course it is.
Yeah, so good.
Dyche will get them going. I don't have any doubt about it. And they'll start making their way up the league. Nuno, West Ham, I think it's a bigger job.
Yeah. Sean Dyche couldn't get Forest going at the weekend at Bournemouth. They lost 2-0.
Yeah.
So Bournemouth second in the table. And you heard from Dave Stevens at Coral earlier on. They are 100-1 for the Premier League title. None of this 5,000-1 stuff anymore, as Leicester City were, but 100-1 for the title. What is possible this season? Let's ask someone who went from League One to the Premier League with Bournemouth. Charlie Daniels. Morning, Charlie.
Morning, Charlie. How are you?
Morning, Jeff. Morning, Ali. How are we?
Brilliant,
yeah,
mate.
Really good. Wow. Well, I mean, it's another unbelievable season, isn't it? And you know, Charlie, in some respects, I think this season has surprised people even more.
Yes.
Because of the fact that they lost most of the back four. And yet, you know, you wouldn't believe it. You know, they just carried on better than ever.
Yeah, it was a massive talking point over the summer. You know, all the 3 of the back 4 leaving for big money. And what you would say is that the recruitment that they've made, I mean, Trufair, Diakite, the young lad, the 18-year-old who played yesterday, you know, they've just seamlessly slotted in to the back 4. And alongside the goalkeeper, you know, who come in from Chelsea, Petrovic, it's been a really, really astute signings, and alongside the work they've been doing on the training pitch, you know, it's reaping all the rewards.
You touched on Petrovic. I've got to say, I only saw the highlights, Charlie, again. A great result, another clean sheet, which is obviously key. We're talking about keeping clean sheets earlier on, but one player we need to talk about, Semenyo, mate, and I'll upset the Bournemouth fans. Can they keep him? He just looks a different level. I can't get enough of him when I'm watching him.
Yeah, he's in great form. You know, he's a confident Semenyo is a frightening player. You know, he's taken everyone by storm this season. He's so powerful. He's so strong. He's both footed. He can go both ways. He scores goals. He assists. He works, not only goes forward, but he works back as well. Does his defensive duties. And alongside that, from what I've heard, he's a fantastic person as well. Great person to have in the dressing room. So it'll be really tough to keep him. But I think Bournemouth are at the stage now where unless a massive bid comes in, like happens during the summer, then there's no reason why he should leave.
Look, I mean, you mentioned, Charlie, the recruitment. I mean, they've done it again, haven't they? Not just defensively, but Krupi is 19. He's got 4 in 3. Fantastic goal from him at the weekend as well.
Great signing. You know, there was a lot of buzz around the training ground, and speaking to a few people at the club, and they're really excited by Krupi. You know, they signed him from Lorient, who's part of the Bill Foley, the Back Night group. Coming in, he had to wait a little bit of time to settle in, but now, as you say, once he's got up and running, he can't stop scoring.
Mm-hmm. Charlie, where can it go this season for Bournemouth without getting carried away as we normally do? It's our job to do that. But at the same time, I'm even thinking, I'm going back to, was it the opening game of the season up at Anfield? Was it the Friday night? I thought they were arguably unlucky not to get something then. So there's clearly no fear there.
No, I don't think there's fear. I think they were a little bit unlucky to finish outside the European places last season. So for them, progression is trying to get in then European spots by the end of the season, and the way that they've started, there's no reason why they can't challenge for it and maybe creep in there.
Tell us your views on Andoni Iraola. I mean, I think nationwide he's admired.
He is, yeah. You know, he's such a great personality. So a little bit different to most managers. He's very relaxed. He takes everything in his stride, like he says. He only signs 1-2 year contracts. He just fully focused on his team, and he wants his team to be exciting. He wants his team to be open and attacking and score more goals than the opposition. And it's such a refreshing thing to see in the Premier League.
What about Man City? Is it next Sunday, Manchester City? What do you think?
Yeah, tough game. You know, anytime you go to the Etihad, and listen, Bournemouth have never won there, so it's an even more challenging task. But they're going to go there full of confidence. You know, it's kind of like a free hit. But what they will do is they'll go there and attack Man City, and Man City will be fearing the likes of Semenyo and all the attacking players. They have Krupi if he plays, you know, and they're in such a great run of form that I think it's going to be an open, exciting game like it is every week.
Charlie, it's been a wonderful season. Let's hope it continues.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Yeah. No, thanks for having us on.
Cheers,
Enjoy your day.
Thanks, mate.
A couple of quick texts. One anonymous one is here. United on the up. Players finally seem to understand their roles. Goalkeeper making a difference. Defenders less nervy. Amorim's stubbornness paying off. Don't underestimate the timing of Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming out and saying he will get 3 years. That killed any player power that could have been an issue, and told the players you're either with Amorim or sold, like the group that left in the summer. Top 4 a certainty. Couple of interesting points there. And different sport. I just want to mention this one though. Paul, as Texas said, can you mention Jack Lisowski winning his first ranking snooker title last night? The sportsmanship had me in tears. He called a foul on himself when on a 50 break and with a match on a knife edge. It puts football to shame when claiming for penalties and corners that they know they don't merit. Paul, thank you very much indeed for that. It is 8:57 coming up. We'll turn our attention to Liverpool. 4 losses on the bounce in the league. How long does Arne Slot have before the pressure begins to build on him? Quite a while, I think. But that's next.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. Ally McCoist is with me right through until 10. Greeno the Post, he says, also jumping on the bandwagon. No mention of mighty Exeter City smashing bottom 4 Plymouth Argyle. And thoroughly deserved too. I had to look at the tables. Plymouth third from bottom in the table. And by the way, the bandwagon has left. OK, no more. But thank you very much indeed. Now, what on earth has happened to Liverpool?
Alisson has the ball from the restart. He launches it forward, but there is no time for Liverpool. Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 1.
You know, everyone's talking about the defence being shaky and the forward line not clicking, but I just think that so much of last season was rooted in that midfield 3 and the fact that they were all on top of their game.
Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1, and it's Esteban who has won it.
And Manchester United have inflicted a fourth successive defeat on the champions.
This Isaac one, I just wonder whether this is going to mirror Torres. Remember when Torres went to Chelsea and it just didn't kind of pan out?
The main difference between this season and last season is the playing styles we face.
They've now lost 4 in a row, and no side has gone on to win the title in England, having had a run of 4 straight defeats for more than 40 years. Brentford 3, Liverpool 2.
The manager's spinning plates. Transfers that happen, have they settled in within the camp, in the dressing room, on the training ground? You know, settled in with a group? Because when you do a lot of transfers, most of them have got to work.
Let's take a call now on Liverpool, shall we? 03717223344 is the number to ring. John's a Liverpool fan. He wants to have his say on whether this is a crisis or not. Morning, John. What do you reckon?
I think he's lost the plot, our new manager. First thing he did, he broke up a team what won the Premier League. And he's got rid of players what knows how to play in our league and brought in a load of young lads who's talented, but they're playing a slower game on the continent. And there's no... They don't play as a team.
The one thing where I would agree with you, John, I don't think they handled the tempo, for example, and ability. I just don't want to put it down as tempo that Brentford played with at the weekend. They played with a lot of skill and a lot of passion, and they had everything. But the tempo that I thought Liverpool struggled with a little bit, John.
Well, the thing is, we're playing teams were our settled teams, and they're beating us. I mean, under Klopp, we'd have murdered these teams what we're losing to now. But I'm afraid there's a big difference from Jurgen Klopp to this slot, and I just can't understand what he's trying to do. I mean, he's got loads of players out and brought players in, like I said, who's never played in league, and they're all struggling. It's a lot quicker at our league than abroad.
John, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, John.
You made an interesting point there about the players that had left, by the way, and I read this somewhere else, so it's not an original thought, but Diaz, Nunes, Elliott, Kwanzaa, Kelleher, they didn't have to sell any of them.
They've lost some forwards.
But they didn't have to sell them.
Obviously, with the tragedy as well, they've lost some forwards. Of that, there is no doubt. And at this moment in time, and it can change quickly because, I mean, they've got some brilliant players in forward position. Not good players. They've got some brilliant players, and Salah is without doubt one of them. Yeah. Right? Going through a little bit of a loss in form. Ekitike, Isak has not hit the ground running, but he's obviously injured as well. Gakpo, I think, is very, very good. But the big thing is, you've got to replace the goals that you've mentioned, Diaz, Nunes, and obviously the tragic circumstances surrounding Jota. Yeah. So, yeah. Interesting.
Well, look, joining us now to either continue the doom and gloom or perhaps put a more positive spin on things. Ex-Liverpool striker, big fan of the club, Ricky Lambert. Morning, Ricky.
Good morning, Ricky. How are you, mate?
Morning, fellas. Morning.
Cara reckons it's a crisis. What do you think?
I don't know. If it carries on, it will be. But I do feel like he's just gone for, let's get the new players integrated as quickly as possible. That is obviously taking a hit now, and because we've lost 4 on the bounce, everyone is talking about crisis. It will depend. It will depend. There's a lot of things going on. I think fitness in quite a few of the players is causing us problems. Now he's sticking with these players. I think that'll be a good thing because you've got to get these players match fit, and once they're all match fit, that's when you'll see the best of Liverpool. But it's just how much damage is it going to cost us in the meantime?
Normal circumstances, Rick. It's typical. We always do it. When things start to go wrong, we'll look at what's not there rather than what is there. I mean, having said that, I did say this morning, I really do think they're missing Gravenberch as much as anybody. I don't, me personally, I don't like seeing Szoboszlai going to right back, to be brutally honest with you. There is a couple of pluses. I think he's been playing well. I think Curtis Jones, the last couple of games, has been playing well. But McAllister, for whatever reason, isn't there yet either. But the one man, I don't know whether you agree, I really think they're missing Gravenberch.
Massively. That's what I'm talking about. Gravenberch, McAllister's fitness, that bite when we lose the ball is not there. It's clearly not there. I feel, me personally, I'll put Joe Gomez right back and Andy Robinson left back, just tell them to stay next to the centre backs for the time being. Let the front six go and see if we can win the game. But at the minute, we're losing the ball and we just look like we're going to get conceded every time.
I mean, Arnie Slot said at the weekend, he said there are too many duels lost, too many second balls not won. Could there be a case of that the hunger is not quite the same this season, Ricky?
No, definitely. Honestly, fitness, Ali will tell you, fitness will play a massive part in this. And if you're not fit or 100% fit and you're playing against some of the best organised teams in the world, you're going to find it hard. It just happens to be there's more than a few who's in the starting lineup trying to make it at the same time. But it will come. It's just like I said, I'm hoping that we can pick up points in the meantime.
Do you know the one thing, Ricky, that hit home? You know, I did the game on Saturday night, and you've obviously got all our stats and stuff like that sent through to us, and I'm looking at the Liverpool stats, and it came firing right out at me, mate. The equivalent point last season, I think Liverpool had lost 3 goals, mate. And now after Saturday night, that's 14, roughly at the same stage. I mean, that's the standout factor for me.
That is it, mate. Ali, that's the worrying part for me, is that how easy we are getting goals conceded against us. But the only other worry I've got is that when the manager comes out and has a go at the other team's way of playing, I'm a little bit shocked with that, to be honest. I wasn't expecting that. I think just focus on us. Yeah. We'll come good. I think it's only a matter of time again. You know it's bad when the Man United fans are starting to come out, give the Liverpool fans banter. That's what's really hating at the minute. So we've got to sort that out.
Ricky, I want to touch on one of your other clubs, obviously Saints. 1 win in 9 league games, 20th in the Championship. How much trouble is Will still in?
Yeah, he's in trouble, and there's no doubt about it. I think, obviously, since we got promoted last season, I think we've only won 4 games. You can clearly see the players have been massively affected by that time in the Premier League, getting relegated, and you was hoping the new players coming in would give them a burst of life and pick the club up. It doesn't look like that's happened. The players, I'm hoping, are speaking to each other this morning, and they're putting it on their own shoulders to turn this round.
I mean, I looked at them, Ricky. I've seen them in a couple of games when they have been utterly dominant, but just haven't put teams away. They haven't put. You know all about it. They haven't got somebody to put the ball in the back of the net.
But they have. It's just like they've got a couple of players who've scored goals in the Championship for fun, and it's just not happening at the minute. I think that's like confidence, which has been affected by the Premier League experience. But again, same as Liverpool, I'm hoping that confidence will come back. But points are needed. Like I think the fans have been patient, but they need to see something now.
Ricky, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Ricky. All the best, mate.
Nice one, fellas.
Cheers, mate. By the way, you can find out if there's any respite for Arnie Slot and Liverpool this Wednesday. They host Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup 4th round. It's live on talkSPORT. Quick text from Charlie, who's an Evertonian, saying, guys, I'm increasingly concerned with Everton's form, especially in front of goal. Yeah. David Moyes has got us creating chances with Grealish and Dye, but we're never going to progress without a striker who can put the ball in the back of
It's not a new problem, though, Charlie. It's not a new problem.
He said, I can't believe we've spent £100 million in the summer and then end up with no striker capable of scoring.
That's point, they look weak in front of goal, but they've got talent run about it. They can create. There's no doubt about that. They've got creation there. Mentioning Dye and obviously Jack. But they need an out and out. You look at Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin I thought was an excellent player, but his goal return wasn't. You know what I mean? He looked to me as if he had all the attributes, but didn't have the goals, and that's a problem for them, no doubt.
Charlie says, resolve this in January, please, Mr. Moisaya. It needs doing, no question. Up next, Ali will tell us which 3 moments from the weekend he loved the most. Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist is with me. A couple of great texts about Liverpool. Ryan says, there's slot machines for you. Wins the jackpot once and you'll think you win it again. So you pump all your money in for no payout. That's absolutely brilliant. And so is this from Ian, who's a Newcastle fan. He said, this nonsense that Isak isn't fit. It's a simple case of Newcastle sold Liverpool the iPhone but kept the charger. Without Jacob Murphy, Isak doesn't work. And the player in the same position as Murphy is Salah. And let's face it, he's not passing as he wants to score. The majority of Isak's goals last season were created by Jacob Murphy. Ian, thank you very much indeed. Right, it's time for a brand new weekly feature.
Hoist again! Oh, yes! Oh, Ali McCoist!
Magic moments, Rangers blue I'm wearing. Magic moments, memories we've been sharing.
Who on earth was that?
The telephone call that tied up the lines.
In my defence, and it's a very, very weak defence, I did it in the last break and they only gave me one take.
Well, I know why they only give you one take. I thought they can't listen to that again.
Actually, poor from Ollie, the producer, he did not give me any time at all to warm up my vocal cords.
Yeah, what time did you come on the air this morning? So you've had 3 hours to warm up your vocal cords.
Dear me, right.
Coisty, it was still better than I could have done, mate.
Thanks, pal.
So it's Ali's magic moment.
Yes, first one.
Oh my goodness, Sunderland are going to win it here at Stamford Bridge, Alex Crook. What an incredible finish to this game. It is Chelsea 1, Sunderland 2.
First thing I've got to say is, it was that magic I missed the goal, right? I was at the game and Sunderland were excellent. Really well. Went a goal down, early goal to Garnacho. But they played really well, Jeff. You know, it's the first time I've seen them live this season. Very impressed. I'm obviously delighted for everybody there and delighted for the support. They've got a physicality, they've got an organisation, they've got pace. Listen, we're only 9-10 games into the season and I'm getting carried away, but I'm allowed to. But they were really good. They were a really good watch. Good when they had the ball and very, very good when they didn't have the ball. Granit Xhaka is going to might be one of the signings of the season, I'm telling you. He just makes the whole thing knit together. But the magic moment for me, and I need to tell you, Sunderland fans were absolutely unbelievable. I am telling you, Jason did great for me. Got me a wee ticket, which is smashing. One of the boys was away, and I was sitting there with a couple of younger guys, and I love the gentleman from big Chelsea fans. And they were all talking about it. They're talking about Sunderland fans because they sang from the start of the first whistle, even going to goal down, right at the end of the game. Right at the end of the game. And you can imagine what they're going through right now, particularly the last 6, 7 or 5 years at Newcastle, where they've been bought over and the tune are absolutely flying, Champions League and everything. So I am delighted. And that is one of my magic.
Brilliant.
I missed the goal. I turned up for the Brentford game and telling everybody I really enjoyed the 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge, but I had to get away early to go over there. But it was a brilliant Saturday.
And you know, it's easy to praise fans. Every club's got great fans, of course they have. But Sunderland fans, there's so many years of misery. I mean, there are 47,000 turning up every week at the stadium, and like when they're playing home, and it's brilliant for the North East. Forgive me, Newcastle fans. You've got 2 massive clubs up there now.
Great.
Packing the place out week after week, which is fantastic.
I love wee Clarkies, you know, wee Lee Clark, and I'm the exact same as Clarkie. I just want to see them. I love them. Middlesbrough, I'll even go down to Hartlepool, mate. I tell you what, I just think the football up there, they're knowledgeable, and arguably there's nowhere in the country they just love their football. Absolutely fantastic. So I think it's great to see. I really do. Number 2, right? One of my magic moments, without doubt, a break. They're talking about football supporters. There's nobody suffered recently than Sheffield Wednesday. So what a story this is. They get, obviously, I think on Friday it was, they entered the administration at 12 p.m. on Friday, right? Which in normal circumstances, well, it is. It's a black day. It's a black moment. Yeah, it is. There's no doubt about it. But the administrator, I think his name was Chris Wigfield, asked for the Sheffield Wednesday supporters to come out and support. And, you know, first thing they could do, obviously, go into the club shop, merchandise, and boy, did they celebrate the ending of the Chancery reign. I can tell you that right now. Over 200 grand, I think it was, club shop, on memorabilia, whatever it was, strips, you name it, the whole package. And then, on top of that, I think there was a best part of 27,000 fans turned up at Hillsborough.
Yeah, brilliant.
That to me is just absolutely amazing. And that's a fan base, as do the Sheffield United fans. They deserve a break at this moment in time. Do I think they'll go down? Yes, I think they probably will.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say 12-point deductions. They're sitting on -6. That would be nothing short of a miraculous recovery, and I don't think it'll happen. But at least they've got a bit of belief they've got the club back.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. Of course, going out administration is normally a time where it's all doom and gloom. But not so, I think, in Wednesday's case. They've got the club back, and the administrator was asked by somebody in a TV interview, do you think you'll be able to sell this club? And he looked open-mouthed, to be honest. He said 100%.
Yeah.
Just look around you.
100%. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Now, for my final moment, it made me think that's magic, and this is magic. It's only right that we get the man himself to explain his incredible achievement. It is, wait for it, 50-year-old Jamie Curitan has now scored in all of the top 10 tiers of the English football pyramid. And Jamie is with us now. Congratulations, mate. Good morning to you. What an achievement.
Morning, Jamie.
Morning, how are you, Jeff? All right.
Jamie, the first thing I'm going to say to you is, I saw the goal, right? The goal's ridiculous. It's a brilliant goal. And then what cheered me up, just as much as anything, was the celebration, or the celebrations. There was physios involved. There was kit men involved. It was brilliant, mate.
Yeah, that's the main reason I've started playing again. To be honest, just as you know, for just the love of playing. I've joined a good club, Kings Park Rangers, that have fun, and it's what I've done. Why I started playing, and it's the reason why I've continued to play, just for love of playing football. So that moment was unbelievable. You know what it's like to score a goal, and you retire and you're not playing anymore, but you wish for those moments, and that was as good a moment as I've had throughout my career.
Hey, Jamie, it's a brilliant...
With everyone was great.
It's a brilliant goal. Is the big centre-half that slow, or are you still that quick?
Come on, I'm still that quick, honestly.
Jamie, honestly, God, we were laughing at him. I've watched him about 4 times. I swear to God, you do. You're brilliant. You show him a clean pair of heels, which is brilliant. Now, I want to, just briefly, if I may, through an incredible career, I think you scored, and you'll tell me if I'm wrong, your first goal with Norwich when you're 19, you're now at Kings Park Rangers, you've clubs at Exeter, Bristol Rovers, Swindon, Leyton Orient, Barnsley, all over the place. I mean, could you, as a 19-year-old kid scoring your first goal for Norwich, have expected to be banging your whatever it is in at 50 years of age for Kings Park Rangers? It's amazing.
No, I mean, when I was I think the maximum age is about 35. Take your pension.
Oh, we've lost you, mate.
Oh, we've lost you. We need to get Jamie back on.
Yeah, just.
What a story.
It was it's such a great goal.
I urge the guys that are listening, right? I urge you to get a look at that goal on whatever it is, YouTube, go on your phone or go on your iPad, whatever it is. It's a brilliant finish.
I wonder how long he's going to go on for.
Oh,
Which was my next question. But...
Yeah, as long as he can. He has to go as long as he can. I mean, I play 5-a-sides, right? And I love it. And I want to keep going as long as I can. But that man there, to do what he is doing at that age, and at that level, make no mistake about it, and produce that quality, it's remarkable.
The other brilliant thing is, he's done it at the highest level.
Of course.
Yet he still wants to play and still gets as much pleasure from scoring goals at the 10th level of England.
What about the celebration?
Incredible. Yeah, exactly. Still loves it. Seriously.
Oh, great stuff. Congratulations, Jamie. Yeah. Wonderful.
I hope we're here in a year or two's time and still doing stories about Jamie Curitan scoring goals.
That was magic.
Yeah, well, I was. Brilliant. So those are your 3 magic moments. Fantastic. There were plenty of moments to pick from this weekend. That is for sure. And actually, we'll be reflecting on a couple of more magic moments when we come back. But we'll be talking Fabio Wardley and that
Absolutely.
brilliant win for him the weekend, and also a fantastic victory for the rising young Dutch dart star Jan van Veen. That's next.
For every good signing a club makes, there's bound to be a few that don't work out. Manchester United have certainly had their fair share of those, especially since the end of their golden age under Sir Alex Ferguson. Here are some of the Red Devils' worst signings since Fergie. First up, Alexis Sanchez. He'd averaged almost a goal every 2 games for Arsenal, but in his 45 matches for United, he only bagged 5. Next up, Radamel Falcao, dubbed El Tigre, or the Tiger. But at Old Trafford, he was a little more pussycat, to be honest. All the Colombian managed in 29 games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone worse for Jadon Sancho at United, with just 12 goals in 83 games. And it all ended after that very public spat with then-manager Erik ten Hag. Next, Ten Hag probably thought he was wise in sticking to what he knew when he brought in Antony from former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian has really not been able to hack it in the Prem. The curse of the famous number 7 shirt has also had its share of victims. As well as the aforementioned Sanchez, Memphis Depay found he couldn't follow in the footsteps of Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and Best. He netted just 7 in 53 appearances. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the title for over a decade, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
morning, 9:34, Monday, October the 27th. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with me, Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist, and Arnold Clark gets £750 off any used electric car or home charger. And every day this week, we are looking at football's most iconic moustaches as we build our ultimate 11, all thanks to Movember.
Get ready with Movember on talkSPORT. The moustache is calling. Grow and mow, raise funds, save lives. Sign up now at Movember.com.
Redknapp. Goodness me, have you ever seen anything like that in your life from a goalkeeper? Extraordinary by Higuita.
Yes, today Ali and I are picking our goalkeeper for Movember. For Movember, and that man simply had to get a mention. The former Colombia goalkeeper, famous for his scorpion kick against England, Rennie Higuita.
Remember it?
Yeah,
played against him.
Yeah. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I think I might have played against my company.
He's a bit extravagant in every sense, wasn't he?
He was, and he always be remembered for the class. Remember was the scorpion? Obviously, you mentioned.
Of course,
that was ridiculous, wasn't it?
The only thing about his tash was, I thought his hair took away from his tash.
Yes,
because he had so much of
100%.
You know?
There's no doubt about it. Yeah. I mean, you're definitely taking me back there in time. Take me back to my old ITV days.
This is my Des Lynam tribute. Des Lynam tribute, Tash.
Yeah,
he's my hero, my broadcasting hero, anyway.
Oh, and so he should be. He's the best in the business, Des.
Yeah, morning, Des, if you're listening.
Ah, what a man.
Yeah.
Really fortunate enough to see it.
This is very much like, I actually didn't realise till I just saw it. It's a very Des Lynam Tash, isn't it? You know?
The bad news is,
it took me all of 5 minutes to grow.
I'm struggling to get. I can't get this one open. I've not got the nails to get the thing off.
You need another magic moment, mate.
I'm very much Jimmy Edwards kind of.
Yeah, Poirot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, other goalkeeping tashes that we could have talked about. Bruce Grobbelaar. Brucey had a
good tash back in the day, and to be fair to Bruce, and I know you won't mind me saying so, he was kind of losing the barnet up on top at that point, so it was very much a tash. It was the emphasis, that was facial hair. So I think he's unlucky not to get the place. He's not.
A bit like Higuita. I mean, David Seaman had a tash, but again, but it was more the ponytail that
I'm looking
famous for, wasn't it?
I'm looking at David's tash, and I keep flicking into the back of his head for that ponytail. I mean, what were you thinking there, David? Seriously, I mean, there's no way he can get in the team. He can get in the team with a tash, but the ponytail's got to go.
Ponytail's got to go, yeah. In the same way as Alice bands have got to go as well. Are you listening to me, Anthony Gordon? Yeah. Let's crown our winner, the incredibly defiant and charismatic Everton legend.
It's your job to score a goal, not mine. So why should I move? It's your problem, mate, not mine. You get paid more money than I do. You try and score past me.
Yes, brilliant. Yeah, great character. One of the great keepers as well, Neville Southall.
Without doubt. Played against Big Nev, and he was, that Everton defence, to be fair, was excellent. I know they had a great team at that time, but Big Nev was, he had a wee period there where he was almost unbeatable. He was different class, absolutely different class.
Ben the Evertonian said, Big Neville Southall, the grandfather of Tashes, my boyhood hero. Well said, Ben. So that was a look at some iconic moustaches in football to add to our Ultimate 11 squad, all thanks to Movember. Neville Southall is our goalkeeper, and we will be picking our defenders tomorrow. Sign up now at Movember.com.
Get ready with Movember on talkSPORT. Grow a moustache, raise funds, save lives, and change the face of men's health. Sign up now at Movember.com.
Just before we move on to boxing, I got a text that said, brilliant show today, guys, as ever. Good luck to Ali getting back into Glasgow safely today.
No chance.
Hashtag hearts.
No chance. I'll need to move. Then we have to get the gear. We're off to Edinburgh.
Yeah. Now, Fabio Wardley continued to come of age on Saturday night, stopping former heavyweight champion Joseph Parker in round 11 to win the WBO interim title live on talkSPORT.
The hour of truth has arrived!
Joseph Parker, and he lands a big right hand. Oh, the shots are gone, and he's in trouble here, Wardley.
Oh my days, this is unbelievable! Huge shot, and Parker again is backed up to the corner. He's in survival mode here, Joseph Parker. Wardley looking for the uppercut, and the referee has stepped in and stopped the fight. Still undefeated and new WBO
interim heavyweight champion of the world, Fabio Wardley.
Well, Fabio Wardley's promoter Frank Warren's already teased an undisputed heavyweight title fight against Alexander Usyk to come next for his man. What chance of an upset against the seemingly unbeatable Ukrainian? Let's ask talkSPORT boxing reporter and host who was there at the O2 on Saturday for talkSPORT, Gareth A. Davis. Morning, Gareth.
Good morning, Gareth. How are you?
I'm very well, Ali. Good morning, Jeff. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good, thanks, Gareth. Look, there was a fair amount of controversy about that stoppage at the weekend. What was your view?
Well, in the immediacy of it, I did think it was slightly premature as Howard Foster slid across the ropes and between the two men and brought it to a close. Obviously, Howard is infamous for stopping George Groves, Carl Froch just over a decade ago, and it caused the rematch, didn't it? The brilliant rematch at Wembley Stadium with 80,000, as Carl has told us, dining out on it for a decade since. But in re-watching it, and we have the privilege of a monitor in front of us, or a couple of monitors at the commentary station there, I thought it was justified. I'm of the school of thought that it's always better 10 seconds early in boxing than 10 seconds late. Yeah. There was a barrage of about 40 punches. I think 25 seconds earlier, Joe had thrown a couple of punches back. He wasn't trying to hold, which was a sign that he wasn't quite sure where he was. He looked very beaten up afterwards. And Fabio is a very dangerous fighter, and I think safety first is very important. So I thought it was a justified stoppage in the end, on balance, from Howard Foster.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt, Gareth. You better stop in a punch too early and a punch too late. We're all in agreement there. But moving on, it's an impressive record. 21 fights, 19 knockouts. The obvious, we're on 6 o'clock in the morning talking about Alexander Usyk. Is that a possible? Well, it's probably a possibility, but is he beating Alexander Usyk a possibility?
Well, if you look at the nuance here, I mean, I'm on the Ring Magazine rankings panel. We've decided to put Fabio Wardley up to number 3, or their number 2. Alexander Usyk is the champion, Tyson Fury second, and we've got Fabio Wardley behind him now, ahead of Ajit Kabayel, Joseph Parker at 5, Italma at 6, Dubois at 7, Hrgovic at 8, Zhang at 9, Bakoli at 10. Anthony Joshua outside those rankings now because he hasn't fought for over a year. But I think not only is it an extraordinary story, his rise to become a great prize fighter in the blue ribbon division, it's an extraordinary story in sports. 8 years ago, when you think he was suited and booted at this time in the morning, heading in to be a recruitment consultant, a headhunter. He's an altogether different type of headhunter today, isn't he? And it's one of those great stories, and we should get behind it, I think, in British sport, and try and get him in a ring at Wembley Stadium with Alexander Usyk. He's one of the few out there that could sell out that stadium right now. Maybe Moses Italma could as well against Usyk, but I think he really deserves his opportunity.
Just a quick one, Gareth, before we let you go, mate. You mentioned Anthony Joshua. I'm reading this morning Eddie Hearn has ruled out a fight in Africa this December, but there could be potentially a fight in February. Is he slowly becoming yesterday's man, forgotten man?
Well, I think Tyson Fury is as well. I mean, there was a phalanx of heavyweights there on Saturday night. It was a shame that Anthony Joshua wasn't there because he felt like the missing man. You know, we had a Goalie there, we had Tyson Fury, David Adeleye, Derek Chisora, Dillian White, I think I missed Moses Italma. They were all there. It was like a celebration of what British heavyweight boxing is right now. And I think the longer we don't hear that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are fighting each other, and that's the fight for both men, frankly, to bookend this heavyweight era, this great British heavyweight era. I think the ship is beginning to sail in many people's minds. We need a resolution. We need a date. We need them both coming out and saying they need to fight each other, because that is the fight for both men.
Brilliant. Gareth, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks again, Gareth. Have a good day, mate.
Cheers, gents.
I think we mentioned earlier on as well. I'm always staggered having met Fabio Wardley and talked to him, you know, at how he is a heavyweight champion because he's such a nice guy, going gentle guy, you know.
Actually, I think so was the guy he was fighting at the weekend.
Yeah.
I think he's the exact same. Yeah, I really do.
One of your magic moments has got a response. Ozzy from Wakefield says, "Hi, Jeff and Ali. I'm a Wigan season ticket holder living in Yorkshire for my sins. On Saturday, a couple of Wednesday fans invited me to the match. As you know, we've been through an excruciating administration. The atmosphere on Saturday was festive. Fans were hugging one another. The queues for the souvenir shop and food outlets were incredible. These are special fans, and it was a privilege to be there.
Excellent.
Good luck to the club. The fans deserve the best. P.S. Barry Bannon is a great club leader and a superb player." Well said, Ozzy. You don't need to tell us that about Barry Bannon. He's a regular here on talkSPORT. He's a cracking guy, and he's led the campaign so brilliantly as well, in a way which most players would have found difficult, I think. For plenty more Big Fight opinion, by the way, and exclusive interviews, head over to the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe while you're at it. Coming up, we're joined by one of the brightest stars of the darts world. You won't want to miss it. Good morning, 9:48. Another Monday morning, October the 27th. I'm Jeff Stelling Ally McCoist is with me. Now, it's our biggest competition yet. We're giving you the chance to win up to £100,000. talkSPORT's biggest ever cash prize. It's completely tax-free. If you're the lucky winner, the excitement doesn't stop there. You'll also be coming to talkSPORT Towers on Thursday, the 13th of November, to play for that life-changing cash prize. Here's how to enter.
18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a TalkSPORT limited promotion run on TalkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
The very best of luck to you. And now to an amazing dart story. The Dutchman, Jan van Veen, has shocked the world number one Luke Humphries to win his first PDC title at the European Championships in Dortmund last night, having already beaten the four-time champion Michael van Gerwen 11-9 in the semi-finals. Let's get more on this. I'm delighted to say that Jan van Veen himself joins us now. Morning, Jan.
Morning, Jan. How are you? Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations,
Morning.
mate. Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
So, look, how nerve-wracking was that? I know Luke, he had some darts for the match, didn't he?
Yeah, he missed one to win it 11-10. Luckily for me, it was very nerve-wracking. Of course, my first ever final on TV, and to win it was amazing.
Well, it's some achievement. I mean, I'm reading your quotes this morning, Jan, and obviously you said, it was very, very emotional, brought you to tears, which is incredible. But the achievement itself, because what a lot of people, myself included, didn't realise since I was doing my homework this morning, you're the first player to win a ranked trophy in 2025 other than Humphries and Littler. So that tells you the achievement, because those two, to be fair, have dominated for a while.
Yeah, they have. And then Luke nearly added one more yesterday. But darts is in a very good place at the moment, especially with both Lukes playing phenomenal. And it's very difficult to pick up a title when they are playing. But, it's luckily I did it this weekend.
Yeah, look, I mean, darts has never been in a better position in terms of standards and the such like. And particularly Luke Littler gets all the headlines at the moment, massive publicity as well. Do you think, I fancy a bit of that? I mean, what are you, world number 7 now?
Yeah, up to world number 7 now, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not really. I like to be a bit in the shadows as well, be on the background. Of course, Luke Littler, that is, what he's doing for the dart sport at the moment is amazing for himself, but also for the other players. Like the publicity it gets nowadays, it's crazy because of what he has done in the past, 24 months. So, as long as he gets to shine, then it's fine by me.
John, tell me, I'm reading you're 23 years of age, so a wonderful career ahead of you, clearly. What made you get into in your youth? What was it, the performance, watching Raymond and perhaps Michael as well? An element of that?
What, about how I started playing darts?
Yeah, so you started playing darts.
Yeah, I started playing darts when I was about 9 or 10 years old. My parents always used to watch it on the television, and so did I, and I always liked it, but I never really gave it a go until I did, and I realised when I was about 10, 11 years old that I was better than most, all the players, or all the dart players from my region. So that's how I rolled into it. I still played football back then, but then after 2 or 3 months, I had to choose between darts or football on a Saturday, and it was an easy decision.
Have you noticed a dramatic change in the ages of the players playing it? Because unless I'm mistaken, certainly, and I'm talking about up in Scotland, there's so many youngsters now playing, whereas before I don't think there was such a great demand.
Yeah, true. I think you can see it now with Luke and Luke dominating. Luke is 30, the other one is just 18.
Yeah.
I won a title, I'm only 23, so the dart is in a very good place at the moment, especially, as you said, in Scotland. You got some very talentful youth players from about 14, 15 years old who all there's a load of very good young darts players coming because of what Luke Littler is doing, and I think it's perfect for the sport.
I mean, Jan, we're used to talking about football here and football injuries, and we're always talking about ACLs and hamstrings and so on. But you played with an injury yourself last night, did you?
Yeah, kind of. I did my ACL. No, I had a small cut in my thumb. it seems minor, and it is very minor. Like it wasn't painful or anything, but I use a very heavy grip on my dart, and the dart rolled over the cut every time, so it kept bleeding, which is like, especially in football, blood is not a bad. You're used to seeing it sometimes, and yeah, as I said, it wasn't the pain, but the blood really got my hands like. One visit they were very slippery, the other visit they were very dry, so my darts were a bit flying all over the place. So that's what a minor cut can do to a dart player. So,
John, listen, I can feel your pain, mate. There'll be rugby players up and down the country throwing radio sets out there, but you struggling to miss it with a cut in your thumb. But I do get it, because it's obviously a key part where you're throwing the dart.
Yeah, that's the main grip part where I hold the dart, and if that gets slippery or gets too dry, and the dart flies out everywhere on the board, which is not ideal.
Yeah. World Championships a couple of months away, Jan. You played a couple of times. It hasn't been your best event so far. So what sort of impact could you make this time round?
Yeah, to put it lightly, not been my best event so far. Played it twice, never won a game at Ali Pali. So number 7 of the world now, so there's going to be some pressure on it, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'm in the best form I've ever been so far, so hopefully I can do some damage to the other players, and hopefully as well to Luke, and try to give them a challenge.
Well, hopefully if you do some damage to them, you'll come on and talk to us after that as well. Jan,
100%.
Many congratulations.
Congratulations again, mate. Well done.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
I didn't know he'd never won a match at the Ali Pali.
That's unbelievable.
It's incredible.
Oh, I had it written down there and I was cringing when you asked about it. I thought, you can't bring that up.
No, I knew he had a couple of early exits, but I didn't realise that. But world number 7.
Great, and it was,
now he's got a title as well.
Absolutely. Really refreshing, clearly intelligent, knows exactly what he wants. Yeah, another one for, I'm saying another one for the future. He's 23, but I suppose that's one of these sports you can go on and on. But no, that was good, and congratulations to him.
Just before we finish up, we've got a text from Tomo saying, Super Rally, what a difference in the Rangers yesterday.
Yes.
Let's hope this is a turning point. Big game on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
If we win, I feel it's only up from there on. Danny Roller's instilled a bit of faith back in the fans. What a difference in a week. Did you see it? What did you make of it?
Okay, I felt it. I felt the positivity, actually, in the stadium in Brann when we got beat 3-0, the team were bang average, to tell the truth. But I felt the positivity generated by the new manager. He's got a job in his hands, of course he has, but it was miles better yesterday without getting too carried away. But he has got a job in his hands, because he's going to have to find a level of improvement in that squad that I'm not sure is there, to be honest with you. But he will hopefully get time. I think he speaks very, very well. I think the fans can relate to him, which I think perhaps, that was one of Russell's problems. Clearly the results weren't good under Russell, but I always felt there was a distance and a lack of contact between the fans and previous managers. I don't think that's there at this moment in time. Listen, it can change if results don't pick up. I get that totally, but I can sense a positivity from the Rangers fans at this early stage. Miles to go, but it was far better performance.
So starting from the position they're in now, what would be acceptable this season from Rangers fans' perspective?
Oh dear me, I can't believe I'm thinking about saying third. I can't believe it, and I've already come out with one or two outrageous ones today. You've sucked a couple of outrageous ones from me today, Mr. Stelling. And if you get me saying Rangers third would be an achievement, would be your best ever. So I'm not saying that.
Well, you've just said it.
Right, you've killed me. That's the boys. I've got a dilemma. What headline are we nailing McCoist with today? Is it Hearts winning the league or Rangers finishing third would be an achievement?
Yeah. Well, use both of them in different bulletins, I would suggest.
No, but getting back to Danny Rowe, I think he speaks well, and I hope, he can. And mention Barry Barn, and a lot of people have been complimentary of him. So fingers crossed, mate.
Courtesy, enjoyed your company.
Loved it,
I haven't a clue what the time is, but it's almost 10 o'clock anyway. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Jim Martin and Neil Martin. Keona next.
Moments, memories we've been sharing. I'll never forget, just go to the